Let's start the show. 1022 2015. It's the Overdose Talk Show. Thank you for joining us. David motherfucking Box.
What's going on?
David Box on Skype tonight from home because he's a pussy. Went to the hospital for a migraine headache. Just pathetic. Andrea's got an eye patch on.
Sure do.
What is going on with that?
I got scratched in the eyeball, and now I can't use my eye for a couple of days.
Okay, you're not going to tell the story? You
Well,
just got scratched in the eyeball.
That's
good. That's good listening. That's just really wraps it up nicely for
I
people.
was laying in my bed with my dog, and out of nowhere, he kicked his foot, and his toes landed exactly in my eyeball. And then...
What do you think he did it on purpose?
No. Maybe. He might have. He's
sure
pretty
made
malicious.
It look like an accident.
Yeah. Did it real casual-like.
We were moments away from taking me to a doctor when the dog kicked Andrea in the eye.
Okay, and what happened with you, David Box? You had to go to the hospital because you didn't know what was wrong.
Well, first we went to a doctor, and he just made it worse.
Why? What did he do? Was he of a certain cultural persuasion? Was he?
The first one was...
Was he? David Box, what did he tell you?
He told me that I need to take antibiotic and Vicodin pill for the infection that was in my brain.
Really? He told you
Yeah.
you had an infection in your brain?
Well,
That's
I mean,
some
those weren't
old
his
world
words.
bullshit. Fucking,
He didn't even say what kind of infection either. He was just like, you have infection.
I'm surprised he didn't tell you it was a gin. Andrea, was his wife there, maybe?
She is also a doctor there.
What's her
I
name?
took a look. Her name is Dr. Ranjit Ramamurthy Mohinder Parikh.
Oh, boy.
And I also took a look at his head, and he had a gin. We tried to cleanse with antibiotic in the IV, and he only got bigger.
The gin got bigger?
Yes.
From the antibiotics?
Yes.
Yeah, they feed off that sometimes.
Yes. It was a mistake.
Those dirty Indian spirits.
Gin is a very bad sickness. Take it from me, Dr. Prashante Deshpande Khan.
Really, what kind of doctor are you?
I am a neurologist.
That's some decent work if you can get it, I hear. Good paying job.
Especially with a name like Dr. Prashante Deshpande Khan.
What made you leave India? You couldn't get a job like that in India?
All people are sick in India. There's just way too much stuff to do.
So you
It
came
is
here.
much easier to be a doctor in America.
I was simply tired of seeing people dying.
Right. And you get a little bit of a break here once in a while. You're not dealing with as many foot parasites and tiger bites.
Way less starvation here in America.
Right. So anyways, moving on from the Indian doctor, then what happened? You went to the real people hospital?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy because it was, I guess, just a migraine, but it was like the worst pain I've ever been in,
And
and
so
it
you
lasted
decided you
for
had to
5
go.
days straight.
I should say our friend Lenny is sitting in with us too. What up, Lenny?
How you doing?
Sorry I didn't introduce you at the beginning. We just kind of got right into things.
It's okay.
Lenny's
What are you
just-
what are you up to, Lenny?
Andrea's friend that just came to hang out. Has no quality.
Showed up.
That's all you got. That's all that has to happen to get on this show. Hey, I know this guy. Sounds great. Bring him in.
He makes drinks.
Yeah. We've worked together. So you went to the hospital, and what kind of treatment did they take you seriously, or did they just like, oh, a headache? Fuck you.
Yeah, the first time that I went to the emergency room, the doctor seemed real eager to just like slap a label on it and prescribe me
Yeah.
some shit and get me out the
That's
door.
what they do. That was my famous story when I, had my bug bite. Everybody
Yeah.
knows about that. When I almost died of a bug bite. It was like, the guy.
Bug bite.
Yeah, I know.
Bit by a little itty bug.
I did.
You couldn't take the little
where did
bug
the little
bite.
buggy bite you?
I did. I got bit by a little teensy weensy bug, and but David, it had bad bacteria on its mouth, and its mouth went right into me. I think it might have been a beetle. I don't know what it ever. They said it wasn't a spider. That's all I know.
You
they
got
never
mouthed by
they
the
never
wrong
figured
bug,
out.
though, huh?
I got mouthed by the wrong bug. It had a dirty mouth.
That dirty little whore mouth.
Yeah.
On that little bug.
Little fucking cocksucking whore bug. Anyways, yeah, they when I was all dying, the fucking emergency guy tries to be like, that giant softball sized red lump on your ribs there. That's probably, he said it was a red herring. I think we'll just give you some fucking like anxiety pills and some fucking medicine, painkillers and shit, and just get you out of here. Like, all right. And I was back like 4 hours later, and then I had to go to the ICU because I was so fucking sick. Stupid ass emergency room doctors. So what happened with your fucking douchebag doctor?
Well, I kind of talked to him about, what I was feeling like and everything. And then he was like, yeah, well, so your head feels like it's going to explode. So your nose looks a little red. Here's some Flonase and some Claritin. Go home and take that shit and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was real quick to say, well, why did the last doctor give you antibiotics? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. They're not even doing that anymore.
That's not even, that we don't even
Nobody
use that.
treats this with antibiotics unless you're in India.
You know that whole thing's a myth, right? Biotics and
What whole thing?
Yeah.
Nothing David Box.
And the same thing happened. That guy discharged him and said, go home and take this allergy medicine. And we were back in the ER about 4 hours later.
Oh, so same shit.
Yeah.
So they tried to kick you out. Fucking douchebags.
Yeah.
What a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
Now, when you were there, my question is when they intake you, I haven't been to the ICU or the emergency room. Is it fairly quick that you're right to what's wrong? Because my mom slit her finger open. She's a hairdresser.
Get a little closer to your mic.
She slit the whole finger open, her index finger. She's a hairdresser. And we went to the emergent
Was she giving
care.
a guy a shave with a straight razor?
No, doing some complicated prom work, I guess, or homecoming, whatever's coming around. Probably homecoming. And we went to the urgent care, so not the actual big boy hospital, just the little offices they had. And there was 32 minutes of paperwork and insurance form before they could even touch her. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. I'm like, my mom is bleeding here. Like, here's her insurance card. They're like, no, we need the workers' comp because you said it was at work. I'm like, I don't care about that. I mean, her finger's slit open. I'd much rather have it sewed up. But what I'm wondering is,
you go in
your
there.
experience was, did they need your insurance and all that before they even touched you, or
Not at the ER, no.
so they go right
mine
to it?
was when I thought David Box is probably the same way. Like, I don't just go to the it's got to be like I really think I'm in danger,
Yeah.
I usually just kind of let things pass, but I went in there like seriously almost starting to get afraid, of like, this is nothing normal. I'm like descending into some weird sickness. And
Like you're gonna die.
I started to feel that that instinctual, just sort of like I have to do something now, and they made me sit there and fill out tons of shit for like a half an hour. You basically go in there dying, and everyone who talks to you, it's their job to not care about people who are dying. That's basically what their job is. They couldn't do their job if they actually gave a shit about every last person. They'd go insane. So you're talking to a bunch of sociopaths, and they just put you on some bed, and somebody comes in, and they're like, okay, we're going to give you this thing. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I kind of have this major concern dealing with my imminent death. And they're like, they just don't even look you in the eye. Just like, okay, well, a doctor's supposed to come by at 8 and shut the
45
fuck up.
minutes.
Yeah, and we'll see you later. They don't even take, like, I had a thing happen where my potassium IV, which I guess is when you're real fucked up from infection and stuff, you have to have a potassium IV. And that shit burns like a motherfucker already.
Like while it goes in? You
Yeah,
just feel
yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah. It's like a stinging,
Horrible. It's like fire.
You've had that shit?
Yeah.
So my vein fucking broke. While I already had the IV in for like 2 hours, and I'm just laying there, and all of a sudden I just feel like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, and it like my hand swelled up this like bubble lump on the back of it, which is horrifying. You're looking at that, you're just like, oh,
like
dude.
where the IV was going in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it just like all the fluid collected under the skin, because the vein broke, and it's just kept pumping in, and I start like screaming, and I hit the fucking nurse call thing, and she just comes like sauntering in, like, what's wrong? I'm like, just like pointing at it. She kind of like just calmly like takes it out. She's like, yeah, that potassium can sting. And like you're going crazy in this place. They keep sticking needles in you every half an hour when you're in the ICU. You're just beeping sounds, people dying, that stupid blue fucking light, an alarm going off all the time, and then somebody's dead, and then they're wheeling them down the hallway, and you're just laying there like, oh, this is just fucking great.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want to watch TV? I'm like, no, I don't.
Do you want this aspartame soda?
Yeah. Oh, and everything they try to give you is poisonous. Yeah. They don't have any fucking thing that you would eat at home if you're like a reasonably healthy eater or anything like that. But no, and then they'll just all be walking around making jokes. You're laying in this thing, and I'm literally telling this lady one night, I'm like, dude, you guys have checked my blood sugar every 30 minutes for 3 days. Like, you're not doing anything based on what you find. There's nothing changing about my experience any of the times that you've checked it. And I was begging her. I'm like, I haven't slept in 4 fucking days. And this was true. I hadn't had a wink of sleep and nothing to eat because I couldn't. I was septic, And I'm like, dude, you please have some mercy on me. Give me 2 hours without a fucking blood sugar check so I could sleep for 2 hours, please. Oh, God, please. And she's just like, yeah, I know, the hospital's no place to sleep. I'm like, no. I'm going insane right now. I'm literally hallucinating as I look at the ceiling. Shit's like I'm on acid. It's starting to fucking flow around and shit. It's like, this isn't normal. I need some fucking sleep. They don't care. They wouldn't care. If she was talking to me, if I was in the middle of a sentence and died, she would have exactly the same response. She would still say the same thing. Hey, hospital's no place to sleep. And she'd nudge my dead body with her elbow. Like, wish someone was here to see that. And then she'd just whistle and walk out of the room.
Yeah.
That's how it is there. They're a bunch of psychos. They have to be.
Yeah, it's the only way to make it happen.
David Box, did they make you wait a while before they let you in?
Before they let me in, the first time, no.
He's just outside knocking.
Yeah.
Please, I'm really sick. I don't know.
You don't look sick to me.
Did you try a glass of water and a nap?
Yeah.
Stay outside. The fresh air is good for you.
The moonlight gives you vitamin fuck off. Go ahead.
It wasn't so bad getting in the first time. The second time I had to wait a little bit, but once I was in, every step of the process took at least 4 hours. Even pressing the nurse button, you're there for at least 15 minutes before someone comes in. And I was like a high fall risk, so I wasn't allowed to use the bathroom without someone being around. So, when that shit's coming and they're not coming, and then you're coming all over the place, it's bad.
Did they have to hold your little willy for you?
No, they just stood outside the door and waited to hear a crashing sound.
Did they hold your little weenster?
Yeah, they held my little weenie.
I used to have to take drug tests in DuPage County, and they wouldn't let you just do it by yourself because you would obviously cheat, somehow. And so this like old Italian lady would come in and watch me pee, and she was like 85. I'm not kidding. She's like an 85-year-old lady would come watch pee come out of my weenster. But they would do it with like a mirror, so you apparently wouldn't feel as weird,
like behind a mirror.
No, she would hold. How did this work? There was I forget how it worked, but there was a mirror she would watch me from, and this was years ago. And it was either mounted on the corner, like a convenience store, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it might have been like that kind of thing, where it was a small room and there's a mirror up in the corner, so she would stand in the doorway while I would pee, and she'd watch the old weenster cry.
That is so creepy.
Yeah.
That is very creepy. Why not just like look right at your dick. Like, does the mirror
mirror
is there.
dilutes
You can
it
already see what's
somehow.
going on.
Yeah. And if it's that fucked up already, like, why don't you get a Scared Straight program going where kids have to look at my dick? You know what I mean? Like, do you want this to be your life? Like, everyone's crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying. The kids crying. I'm just crying and peeing. I'm sorry. They're making me show you. I'll never drink at the park again.
I only had to take a court-ordered drug test one time, and the guy handed me a cup and said, take this to the bathroom.
Yeah,
and it was just like a regular public bathroom, like in a stall. And he was like, fill it up halfway, and that was it. And then he like let me walk down the hall by myself.
And you could have easily had a condom full of piss.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what everybody always used to use in high school. You'd fill a condom with piss and then tie it with like a shoestring to the button of your pants, you know, and hang it inside like it's your dick. So if anybody tries to feel on you or search you or anything, it just feels like you got a watery dick.
Yeah.
And then you would bring like in your shirt sleeve or something a pin, you know, and then you go in there, and even if they're kind of watching behind you, it still looks like you're peeing. You just poke a hole in it and pee some pee out, you know.
What
But
if
it's
you-
someone else's pee. That's the thing. I said you would pee in a condom. I don't know why that would ever be true, because if you could pee, you'd just take the test. But no, you'd get like a friend from school to pee in a condom, and then you'd hold it in between your legs to keep it warm, because the drug test has a fucking temperature thing, you know, so they can tell if you just pour some bullshit in there.
Yeah.
So you would have your friend's piss, you know, right on your nuts for a while, for a long while.
For the whole drive there.
Yeah. There was a
Who
lot of,
hasn't been there?
right. Who hasn't pissed on one of their friends' nuts after a long night, you know, drinking and stuff? Guy passes out, you pull his pants down, everybody starts pissing on his nuts. That's what guys
Classic.
do. Yeah. That's what real guys do.
College.
You know, guys.
I mean, honestly, that seems easier than what they have now. These detox kits, I mean, they're pretty scary sometimes. I'm not talking about like the 10, 20-day ones. I'm talking the ones you take like a couple hours before you go.
Yeah, I tried
And
one of
then-
those
Did it work? No?
to get a job. I tried
Oh.
it twice, actually. I spent over $100 on 2 detoxes.
Dude,
Apparently you
the
pee
first time
something
it
out,
came
totally
back
different.
the first time it came back diluted, and it was rejected because there was too much
You
water.
should get a refund for that.
And then the second time it came back positive for marijuana.
Now, here's the deal. When that old Italian lady was watching my weenster, I was peeing my own pee, and it was oddly bright yellow. That was the only thing I ever worried about. It's like, if anyone really with a brain looks at this, they're going to understand this is not regular pee.
Yeah.
But I was going to the head shop and getting that fucking cleanse.
Yeah.
And it's like a big-ass
bottle
30
of goop.
Dude, it's like a big ass 32-ounce drink of like medicine tasting garbage, and you have to drink. The whole thing is like you drink it within 5 minutes, you know,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
it's just awful, dude.
And it comes
Um,
with an unmarked clear plastic package of various
of
pills
vitamins and
and
shit, right? Yeah, a bunch of-
nothing is
a
labeled.
bunch of boosters for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
You went to the same head shop.
I'm
'Cause
sure,
if you get it at GNC, you don't get none of that shit.
No.
If you get it at
It's
the head
not for
shop,
passing a drug test
exactly.
at GNC. Yeah.
In fact, if you go to GNC and say, I need, because this is what I did. I just went into GNC and said, I need that stuff to, like, I need to pass a drug test, you know? And they're like, yeah, we don't do that. And I'm like, no. I saw it online. I read about, because I had read all this ways to do it, you know? And I'm like, they said you had this. I'm like, what's the name of it? Come on. It's like for fucking cleaning your system out for a drug test. You know what I'm talking about? And the guy's like, you have to stop saying drug test or I can't tell you what it is. You know? And I'm
It's like saying bong in a head shop.
and I'm finally like, oh, I get it. So I started going to the head shop where I could just be like, they'd be like, okay, how much do you smoke? And I'd be like, oh, you know, a lot. And they'd be like, you mean like a lot? And I'd be like, yeah, probably like you. And they'd be like, okay.
This is
here's,
the one you
Here's what
want.
you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd set you up. And that shit, I passed every test. And that
Wow.
was every month. And I would smoke all month long, quit for about 3 days, take that fucking detox, and I'd be good. I never failed.
The first time I bought one, the girl gave me a set of handwritten directions that she wrote out on a piece of notebook paper for me.
Oh, it's totally fine. Who's your PO? Yeah. Oh, I love him.
Mine was just to get a job, so the fact I failed twice wasn't a big deal. It just meant I didn't get the job. but I've never actually had one work successfully for me.
What was the
Oh
job they
my
tested you for?
God. Our father's on the line. Let's talk to him.
Okay.
I'd like to know, that Italian woman who had to watch you pee. I wonder what it says on her business cards. Urination observer or.
Fucking pervert cunt and sons piss watchers.
You pee 'em, we see 'em.
Yeah.
I saw a woman one time, a woman that you both know, and I won't mention her name, but everybody knows who it is now anyway, so I might as well. But drinking a big tub of Golden Seal tea.
Are you talking about our mother?
Huh?
Are you talking about our mother?
I am.
See,
Anyway.
This is a whole other take on the idea of a family show. This is just a show where everybody says fuck, cunt, and nigger all the time, but we are all related.
Yeah.
So it's technically a family show.
Yeah. So anyway, I watched her drink this big tub of it. You had to boil so many gallons of water, and it was like a big pot that you would boil pasta in, full of this stuff. She drank it all down, and
this is to pass a drug test, I assume.
And then put the joint she was smoking out in the ashtray. She had to go take her drug test. Did
it work?
She passed it.
Did she really? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, honest to God.
That's
And
amazing.
I still to this day, and not only that, it was for a job as a bartender at the same place where Andrea didn't pass her drug test.
That's true.
Yeah, I once didn't get a job at a bank because I had the interview. It went well, and I had to take the drug test. And I remember my tactic for passing the drug test because I was about 16, and that's when you're real smart, And
You know
I remember
everything.
My tactic for passing the drug test was I tried to quit for 2 days, but about halfway through that, I ended up getting high. So then the next day I had to go take the drug test or whatever. And so I drank about a quarter gallon of water. And that was all I did. And I was like, well, I've drank a lot of water today. This might be all right,
Yeah.
Yeah, this ought to work. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'd been smoking 80 times a day for the past month, and I'm like, yeah, chug a little bit of this water. I think I'll be all right. And I get the call from the bank people who were so disappointed in me too. They're just like, well, we wanted.
Well, that's because Nana made it all personal.
Who the fuck is that?
What?
Huh?
What?
Sorry, you know what? You wouldn't have that job now. That bank went out of business.
Oh, that was the Indian music. Whoops. Yeah, all the banks are going out of business. Because I'm robbing them too much.
Oh.
Oh, man. Anything else, Father? What's going on? We got to talk about the election tonight still.
Yeah.
Who are you going to vote for?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, the last
you.
person I voted for was Ross Perot.
Holy fuck. That was probably before some of the people that listen to this show were born. Honestly.
Probably.
Yeah.
It was in, I think it was
88?
91. No, 92.
92, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, 92.
Because I was playing down in Kentucky and had to drive. I drove all the way back because I was too much of a dumbass to figure out the absentee ballot or, any of that.
I don't know how you guys did anything without the internet and shit.
No.
It's just like...
Right.
The world was such a piece of shit until 15 years ago, and really only 5 years ago did it get even good.
Yeah.
Last night we were watching a TV show from the 50s.
Oh yeah, I'm back. I should say I'm back up in Chicago for my court date. We could talk about that too. And so I'm staying with my father watching some old television shows.
And then we both looked at each other like, holy fuck, it was lousy back then.
Yeah, the entire...
Just to make a phone call, you had to turn this dial 7 times.
Oh, and she had a Rolodex, a big giant... Because what was that stupid show we were watching?
Perry Mason.
Yeah, no. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That's right. And everything was
Then
real.
we
It was
were
the worst
watching
show.
McMillan and Wife.
No, McMillan and Wife. That's where they had the Rolodex. Yeah, because he
Oh,
goes...
yeah, that's
he
right,
goes,
yeah. And 2 phones that dialed.
He's the police commissioner, and he goes, "All right, now I'm going to need to start this investigation, and it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, so my secretary's not here. So I need you to be the secretary." So
To his wife.
So he goes, "Here's who I need you to get on the phone," and he writes a few names down or whatever, and then he walks in the other room and stands and leans on a desk and waits for her to transfer the call
you
to
see
him.
her just standing there.
And she pulls out
she
but it
screws
wasn't-
it up, and says so and so's on the phone.
But it wasn't for a
And
gag. It wasn't
he
like
picked it up.
that.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
That was normal back then. Is like, I'll make the women send my calls in, and
Yeah.
Right.
and she takes out a Rolodex, like the size of a fucking bingo thing that you turn, whatever that shit is called. You know what I mean? What is that shit? A bingo fucking
bingo spinner.
Yeah, bingo spinner, bingo ball
It's a
spinner.
bingo drum.
Oh,
spinner.
it's a drum. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's right.
she takes out a thing
Yeah.
like the size of that and starts, turning dials and looking at things and like, wow, dude. And I just looked at him. I'm like, how did you even? I mean, you know what I said? I said, you should be embarrassed to be from that. If I were you, I'd be ashamed of myself.
But everything was like that. I mean, everything was real shitty. It was like living in a bizarro world,
Yeah.
where everything was backwards. The refrigerators were all fucked up. Televisions were horrible. Telephones were terrible. There were no computers,
Yeah.
Well, when I was a
We
kid.
know.
I was probably
Fuck,
12 or something.
Old people always
I
say
like-
that.
well-
Like, are you aware? Remember now, back then we didn't have cell phones, no GPS. Like, yeah, I know. I'm aware of.
Yeah, we never got lost or
No,
payphone,
I do have friends that are maybe 20, 21, and I have been asked a couple times, what did you do, like in high school and stuff before GPS? And I'm like, we got fucking lost every day. You spent most of your time just driving around going, who can we ask? Who can we ask?
Yeah,
It was like-
or just going in circles, thinking if I could make smaller circles, I'll find it.
Right, and you end up, you're with your friends back then, you go out driving around to smoke weed or something, and you end up in some farmland or something on those stupid fucking farm roads that are all called like 18,017N or something.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck
Yeah.
are we? And
Yeah.
and you just you would drive forever, and you'd go, okay, so everybody would be arguing, no, dude, it's totally to the left. That's how we get back to the highway.
Yeah.
No, I swear to God, it's straight. And you'd be arguing, and then it would be just drive in one direction long enough, and we'll have to get to something, right? And then you'd come home at
when I was that age,
midnight.
like,
Hold
I
on,
only-
Dad. I just faded him out.
turned him
Yeah.
down.
Then you'd come home at like midnight, and no one would believe you. Like, where were you? We fucking drove to some farms and couldn't get home for hours. This shit's crazy. It's 1999, Mom. Come on, have some perspective here. It's not the future yet. Sorry, Dad. We muted you. Let's get back to the election. I want to get into the election. Who are you voting for, you son of a bitch?
Well, I used to vote for Ross Perot.
Used to.
But I haven't done that now in 23 years. I haven't voted because I was so mad that they didn't elect him. That my guy didn't win. So I think I'm going to vote for. I know I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm a Trump man.
Are you actually going to vote, or are you just saying that because you think it's funny?
No, I'm going to do it because you know what? Those guys are all
Fags.
phonies. I mean, they're all worthless anyway. At least we should get some entertainment value out of it,
Oh, yeah.
And he will be entertaining. He'll be a horseshit president, but he'll be entertaining.
when he announced his candidacy, I was sure that it would make everybody see this as a joke.
I'm still
as
waiting.
A farce.
I'm still waiting for my early projection to come through. He's just a decoy. Whoever they actually want,
I know,
is just waiting
back. I don't believe that. I think he's for real. I think he's just egomaniacal enough to want to be president.
Do you feel like he looks like
what an asshole you have to be to want to be president?
Do you feel like he looks like a skinnier guy in like a Donald Trump suit? Like he's like
sometimes he does.
He doesn't look quite right as a human. He's like he looks like a much smaller person in a costume.
And his head looks real big and
right.
Yeah,
and like his suit is causing his head to inflate a little, like the way it's like you tie it off in a balloon,
Yeah.
But I figure, if you're going to get a bunch of bullshit and the same status quo as you've had for years,
yeah, man,
you might as well at least get some entertainment value out of it,
I don't give a shit. I'm probably not going to watch TV even if Donald Trump's president. Fuck it.
No, me neither.
I don't care anymore, man.
Some people won't be able to look away. I just think the first guy to come along and say, yeah, I'm a buffoon. So let's go. Vote for me. And you know what? That makes more sense than anything I've heard from any of these other assholes.
Yeah, fine.
Like I'm supposed to take Bernie Sanders seriously?
Ooh, shots fired.
I mean, how many presidents have to go by before you realize these motherfuckers don't have to keep any of their campaign promises? They can say whatever they want to get elected and then do whatever they want. They can do the exact opposite and, do a little like verbal sleight of hand and the entire American public is called off the scent,
Yeah, that's the same way. I don't know. I don't see the point in the idea of a president is so ridiculous to me at this point. It's just just such a fucking
So it might as well
useless
be
tradition.
Trump. Don't you see?
Exactly.
At least get some entertainment value out of it.
Yeah, the whole thing
put
is
up with 4 or 8 years of the son of a bitch. At least have him be. At least when Bush was president, he had those 2 daughters that were getting thrown out of bars and getting in trouble all the time, getting caught smoking pot.
Yeah.
One of them got pregnant, I think.
By a goat.
They had it all going on.
Yeah.
I was tempted to vote for Bush just because of his daughters.
If we're gonna go serious for a minute, though, that is the thing with this show is like, it's not like we're dunces about politics or anything. It's just we've kind of run the gambit of being involved in politics and anti-politics, and at this point, we're all just fucking sick of it. Just exhausted. Who gives a fuck?
Well, and part of my attitude is, you know what? This
Andrea.
is what you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
This is you wanted me. My vote counts.
You want to hear some seagulls?
Well, then, God damn it, I'm going to vote for what I believe in. And I think a buffoon is a better, an outward, like with no shame buffoon.
We're at the beach now.
It's going to be a hell of a lot more fun than these other serious bitches.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to remember I'm a very lazy man, so I may not do anything.
Where are we?
Yeah. Where do they have you assholes voting these days?
That's one for Donald Trump. I don't know, man. I think you're just old and you don't get it. Bernie Sanders is the light. He's the difference that we've been waiting for. He's not like the other ones, Dad. Don't you understand that?
I know.
Don't you get?
It's about time we get a fat, balding, old white guy.
What is, by the way, though, this is kind of interesting.
They should get somebody like that's who they should get.
Right.
Power.
Well, I don't think we've ever had a Jewish president, and he's got to be a Jew, right?
Yeah, he's got a little Jew back
Prez.
there.
Yeah.
I think one of his grandparents was Jewish. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. It's always got to be a thing with the left. The first
My
this, the
aunt-
first that.
All of my aunts voted for Kennedy because he was a Catholic. And you know what a good bunch of Catholics they all were.
No,
Yeah,
no
that's
one
why
knows
they
because
voted for
everyone that
Kennedy,
listens to
because
the
he was
show
a
isn't
Catholic.
us. What is it?
They weren't good Catholics.
Yeah, is that the thing? Should we explain that? They were a bunch of drunks.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I wonder, though, I mean, looking at him, do you think he would give up his position of comfortability? I mean, this guy literally parties in his mansion. Donald Trump.
Oh, well, you don't
And
think
Miss
the president
America
parties in his
competition?
mansion?
No, he does, but I mean, look how old he is, and he has a pretty stress-free
Pages,
life, if you think about it
pages,
right
and
now.
more
The campaign
pages.
runs everything. A close friend of mine, she works campaigns. They barely have to do anything.
Yeah.
They just go on stage and act, and he can
Right.
be an absolute buffoon.
It's a joke. Yeah.
And what I'm wondering is, why would, if he actually gets elected, let's say, would he even accept it? Let's just like hypothetically, why? I mean, he's
First
so
of
comfortable
all-
in his life. I'm
Hey,
wondering.
man, you know what? He's got everything now.
Yeah, already.
Except the ultimate power.
Except a championship ring.
In the eyes of people that respect power and want to wield some themselves.
Like me.
That's the ultimate job, and he wants it.
Mm-hmm. What was your question? Do you think he'd give up his lifestyle to
Yeah, I
be
mean,
president?
there would be a-
I think so.
Congress
Yeah.
would probably
Yeah.
be even more locked
Yeah,
than it is now
absolutely.
if you ever got voted in.
And yeah, but you know what else though? Like he probably also looks at it as a legacy thing for branding
Oh, yeah.
for his name, you know. And,
Yeah.
and
Right, yeah.
if he becomes president, the Trump product, you
Is
know,
suddenly
probably
a
probably
presidential
gets
product.
another.
All those
right.
hotels become the name is
I mean,
Trump Presidential Towers.
yeah, you're right. You
Yeah.
don't even need a marketing team. It's just, it's the damn president's hotel.
It would do
Yeah.
a lot for his grandkids.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Great-
and they
great
need all the help they
great-grandkids.
can get. You know,
Right, I mean,
he was
those
barely
poor-
able to pull himself up by his bootstraps with only a $500 million. You know,
Right.
to start out in life. You know,
But Dad, aren't you aware that he's been bankrupt and then made his money back honestly? Like,
honestly, too. I'll bet. Yeah.
oh yeah, he didn't have no help from nobody. He's just a smart businessman. That's all.
Right, that's what he says, you know, and I believe him. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? You know, I've been listening to all these assholes all my life. And like I think it was Lenny that said they're just actors, and that's really what they are. They, you know,
Right.
the better ones are the guys that can actually answer a question without the answer being fed to them.
I would like to see one politician ever in my life not make awkward hand motions while they talk. Like I've never seen a politician who looked in a way that I wouldn't kick them out of my house if they talked to me that way in my living room.
You'd
Let me
have
see
to
a
look
guy talk
for,
like an actual
presidents
person.
Before, and there's not a lot of footage of him, but before Kennedy, you know, Eisenhower didn't wave his arms all over like he was
Like
mute guy, you know, talking with hand gestures. You know, I mean, the old guys were more no nonsense.
Wait,
You know,
wear your headphones for
FDR or Truman or you know.
Yes,
course.
yes.
And those guys are actually the ones that warned us about what was coming. All this stuff. You know, Eisenhower was.
You know,
a
I was
general.
hold
He
on.
made a big
I was
speech
just
about,
gonna. If I could cut
the
you off.
military-industrial
Yeah,
complex,
yeah.
you
If
know?
I could cut you off for 1 second, I was just gonna ask you, what do you think is like the most impactful political moment that you remember, you know, from your life, and that kind of really stood out to you as important in that? And I think I know where you're going with this, but
You know, it's going to sound weird, but I think it was the.
I was actually kind of interested in the answer to that.
really,
Yeah.
that's what makes the hang up so brutal.
Yeah.
Is it was actually about to go somewhere. That's what you get for listening to our show. Fuck you. Was that you're not? You weren't in support of that?
No, that was good, but
Okay.
I didn't see the hang up coming. I thought it was a good, thoughtful question.
Well, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you set it up.
All
Lenny,
right, so we got one for Trump.
Lenny, where are you at on this next election? Are you a voting man?
No. If Ron Paul was in there, yes, I would actually
Ooh.
get off my ass and do it. But
A man after my own heart.
Rand Paul, no. Bernie Sanders, don't know enough, but maybe. It's just voting in itself and how it's done.
Jew.
I took an interesting statistics course, and I don't give a shit about the popular vote. There's such a ridiculous level of manipulation that can happen.
Right.
So where I feel like it doesn't matter. I'll spend my time maybe warning against or rooting for other people and vocalizing it, but I don't think I'm going to go.
You're not going to go out and vote for sheriff?
I registered.
I'm going to go out and vote for my local comptroller.
We should.
I used to think that way, that like the real path back to some level of like civil liberties in this country would be to bottom up, start taking over politics.
Start with like Neighborhood Watch.
Right, and start doing, and at this point, I am just of the mindset that things are so stacked against grassroots movements, and the system itself is so out of control, corrupt already. Like, I just don't think anything other than violent revolution will change this country. I just don't see it any other way at this point.
I agree to a point.
Did I just come down with too wide of a blanket there? Because it's just yeah. It just we've kind of gone. The reason I don't kind of go through all the reasoning is we've done it on the show 20 times. It's like But Andrea, how would you illustrate it? How would you illustrate my opinion?
Well, I was just gonna say I as our listeners know, always stand on the foundation that nonviolent change can come.
Starting to sound like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I as you know, always stand on the foundation.
No, I'm a firm believer in nonviolent reform through non-voting, and that's why I'm an advocate for non-voting, registering, and not voting. It's worked a number of times in the past in other countries.
Dude, we did a list on the show one day of like 11 nonviolent takeovers and coups and stuff, but we also, in a different show, showed that only violent revolutions actually work.
Yeah.
And that even like non-violent revolutions do experience some level of violence with people that won't give up on the original controlling class.
Yes.
There will be some holdouts, and you're going to have to take them outside and tar and feather them and whip they behinds.
What I'm wondering is, have you ever, I'm going to relate it back to this real quick. I know you talk about revolutions a lot. I'll be quick.
No,
the
it's
movie
fine.
Snowpiercer.
What is that?
Snowpiercer, fantastic movie. A little bit of an allegory about revolutions and how they work. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but basically this gentleman ends up, the key character, the key hero, perpetuating the cycle, right? He violently takes over the head of state, and it ends up just continuing on what was before, and the main example being Egypt. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And that may be violent. And the thing is, I think it's a violent.
Ancient Egypt, I think you mean.
That was. I don't know too much about that.
They were nuts. But go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, they had religion tied with it, deities.
Non-joke that I interrupted with.
Good work.
I'm thinking it's going to be a mix of both, of violent and non-violent. But I'm wondering, do you think violence at all perpetuates the cycle or no? And that's not my opinion, but a couple movie makers and writers talk about how if you just throw it over and just put anyone in, eventually, not in 5 years, not in 10 years, but maybe in 100 years, it'll perpetuate the cycle. And some science fiction writers even talk about, can you ever not have it? The idea being that the only true egalitarian state is the one where we lived in bands of 50 to 100 people and lived off the land. If you have this much stuff and this many people,
is it ever possible?
You can't. You can't have a nation.
My view on that is that as a species, we have yet to evolve to the point where we can govern a society successfully on a large scale. I don't think it can happen right now. I'd like to think that we're going there one day. Where we might be able to have a government that doesn't run away with itself and become its own fucking separate social class that preys off of the proletariat or whatever you call us, And so, no, I don't think we're there. And I think that that's probably true, is that like 50 people max, or else shit gets fucked up. And even 50 people, somebody's getting their ass beat once in a while. Oh, yeah. It's happening. Yeah. Some guy's going to be fucking pilfering the whiskey stash. You know what I mean? Somebody else is going to be, is going to be doing more corrupt things that I'm too much of a fucking retard to think of examples of. All I could think of is stealing whiskey. That's my only example of some
white crime.
Yeah, that's
Revealing.
that's right. I know. That's my plan, is to get into a 50-person commune and just fucking just have the
Take
whole
control
the
of
whole
the
thing.
whiskey.
The whole thing is just a pyramid scheme to get me wasted all the time. That's about it. But yeah, no, I don't think it's possible. Honestly, I think that the human spirit is still at too much of a conniving and a dark place, And now the interesting twist on that is how many people who are shitty now would be as shitty as they are without the influence of big corporations who act through government to fucking shitify society.
And to manipulate the way you think and the way you behave in
Now,
society.
we deal with a lot of crime and bullshit in the U.S. and a lot of homelessness and a lot of fucking stupidity and just weird, disheartening trends in our society. But, like, how much of that is provoked from high up? So if we were actually left to our own devices and we did have relatively this size of government, but it somehow actually worked for us and we were able to police it better, how much better would people be in general, and how much could we trust each other more to do this kind of, you know what I mean? So where does the actual evil come from?
Yeah, interesting.
It seems like that in any society throughout the history of the world, there has been a struggle between people who would just like to be free to live life and have a chance at happiness, and people who just can't stand to leave well enough alone and need to try to get more power, more wealth, more influence over others. And I look at it as like a spiritual thing. There's a sickness where there seems to be a certain vein, whether it be bloodlines or just like philosophical teachings, there's a vein that is just evil and wants control, and it seems like a sick, just parasite that's on the planet. So can that be identified and dealt with? I don't know. Or would new people just step up? Say you took out the whole existing, say you could identify everyone that's in the so-called New World Order crowd or something like this, and you say, okay, we know everybody right now who's contributing to the one world government takeover and, attempted enslavement of humanity. So we can identify all those people and slaughter them. Will there just be new shitheads? Will there be a new Rothschild family in 200 years once somebody figures out how to do it,
Right.
Or is it part of a spiritual genetic line kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Well, one thing
I don't know.
it's a little bit
I don't
chemical
know.
in the brain. They looked at CEOs. They looked at priests who do these profound, like healing rituals where they touch people's heads and they fall down and suddenly all their sicknesses are gone.
You know what? Just
and
stop
cocaine
right there
addicts,
because
yeah.
it's still real to me.
I'm sorry?
I said stop right there because it's still real to me.
Absolutely.
Those priests that do what he's
Yeah.
talking about, I'm just kidding. They're not. They're all
Well,
they're
placebo's
all fakes.
strong, but that's a different talk. But they
Right.
they looked at what's being released. I mean, a whole mix of dopamine and adrenaline and other such things, but quite similar to cocaine as well. And that when these people are on the trade floors or discussing massive mergers and really understanding the power that they hold, because economic power now holds more than political power. I mean, for instance, between Pakistan and India, that wasn't stopped by governments. That was stopped by tech companies saying they would pull out. And then only then did India say, okay, fine, because they would have nothing. They wouldn't have
No
the
money.
developing
Okay.
Yeah.
Silicon
Right.
Valley. So
Yeah.
just to pull it is that I think there is something parasitic that when you get these
Yeah.
feelings of control, it's a great high. And people
But also,
want that.
I think it's also like a sickness that can develop. You get a
Oh,
taste
yeah.
of it,
Oh, yeah.
and then you want more and more, and then you bring up your next generation of hellspawn to act the same way, and they only
to do it better,
and
work
they-
harder,
Oh, yeah.
get more.
it gets exponentially worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
next thing you
created a-
know, you're banging little boys.
that's what always happens.
How did we get here?
That's
I
what-
just
dude.
start a business.
That's what always happened. My grandfather made the best fucking shoes in 1820. Therefore, in 1978, I fuck little boys. That's just how it happens in this world.
The way of
Take
the
that.
world.
Dude,
all,
it is.
All Grandpa wanted to do was put food on the table.
Yeah.
Where we are now.
He fucking took over with a kick-ass shoe store, few generations later, look at us. I'm turning into lizards, fucking raping little kids. And that is what happens in every decadent society. There becomes this elite class that seems to, at a really disproportionate rate to the rest of society, abuse children. We've talked about that.
You
over
lavish
and
on
over.
hedonism, absolutely.
Yes, and it's just that's what it makes me identify a lot of this stuff like that. Makes me think of it as a sickness because it's like there's certain behavior traits that are so common too, you know, and so across the board in all these like elite class, you know, and the priest class as it was first called in Egypt, I think, is like your earliest example of like well documented. These powerful people had fucking boy slaves for Weenster service.
Good old Weenster service.
Yeah,
That's what the Egyptians called it anyway.
but it's all over. It's in every society. When
you
get powerful, you start wanting to fuck kids.
Yeah.
There's no other high.
This is
Yeah.
the last time I'll reference that movie, but in Snowpiercer, the back of the train, which is the extreme lower class poverty, right, has no
Okay.
windows, and the train is the world. And the very front, the train has no windows either. They totally lavish in hedonism. They have their own form of drugs and alcohol. They're just as blind as those in the back of the train, but in a different way. You know, distracted, lost, not understanding. And then, I mean,
like
the
the
movie
whole
talks
thing's
about
a
the
very-
middle class.
It's like a
has
very direct
windows.
metaphor, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just interesting
not
to
to
think that
criticize
these
it,
kids who
but-
grow up, I had some friends and parents were Russian mafia and multi-million. And Russian mafia is a little bit different. It's not your normal cool-sounding Chicago mafia. It's just property scandals and all this. Anyway, absolutely loaded.
It's kind of what the
And-
Chicago mob does now too.
Oh, I
government,
Yeah?
construction contracts and fucking land deals and shit. Yeah, they don't fucking.
So I don't know about it. I mean, enlighten me.
Yeah. No, I mean I think most of the mob. Not that I really have any intimate knowledge of it, but I think they've mostly moved into quote unquote legal areas where they just use the influence they've always had and have worked into politics and asphalt and construction and shit like that
Yeah.
that you can get contracts from government and use their family influences to just get those kind of things. And so it's not technically crime, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
think about
You know,
China's
More
use
like
of concrete
bullying.
is
Yeah.
insane, and I'm wondering what
Those
their mafia is
bullies.
doing.
Wait,
The what?
China's use of concrete?
Is like huge. It's the biggest in the world. I mean, they're expanding, and they have really bad building practices. In essence, for like lower class people, how they build these skyscrapers is like mostly concrete instead of, you know, high grade steel and alloys. Anywho, resulting in things that you see that they collapse.
Everyone has to sleep in an 8-inch PVC pipe. Like, fucking lined up
8 inches which way?
width, you know. I mean, you get a regular human length. You get 6 feet by 8 inches to sleep in China. You have to squeeze in like Alex Mack, just turn into a fucking gel and slip in there. But yeah, the mob, I don't think. I mean, what are they gonna do? What are you gonna run prostitutes? I mean, you can gamble, you can get drugs anywhere you want.
Yeah.
You can you can buy.
I mean, realistically,
you know,
they could have their hand in any one of those pots, but
I think a lot of them probably went into porn too. That was like a natural sleazebag move in the late '80s to early '90s to get
when
into
they started
internet
losing
porn.
their real ledge.
Yeah. A lot of I don't know. I think a lot of them aren't even real anymore. I think their parents and grandparents were mobsters, and they just go around spending money at clubs saying they are.
Yeah.
Honestly, you
Yeah.
know, not to call anyone out specifically, because some of them are real. I don't want to get into any messy situations.
Hey.
Hi, who's this? Oops, wait. Hi, who's this? Hello? Somebody on the phone?
The voice from beyond.
Do we have a prank caller on the line?
Maybe it's Cunt Boy.
Are you there?
Aw.
Caller, are you there? Criminy. What does this happen? All right, bye.
All right.
See you later. What else do we have on the election? Hillary did some douchebag shit like always.
Yes, she sure did.
God, when was she just... Why is she a thing? Why
I
is
can't
she still a
understand
thing?
how
I
she
don't
has
know.
any traction. It doesn't make any sense.
This is why I stopped watching television years ago.
Hillary?
No, just because I can see reality now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You unplug from that shit for a few years, you will start to see reality. And then you see Hillary Clinton come on a screen in front of thousands of people and say things as though they're important, you really do. That was the caller hanging up, I guess. When you see this now and you don't watch, you really just can appreciate the absurdity more. You know, like I just really see it for how potent and pulpable that it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can identify the theatrics
I feel like
with a little distance.
If you watch TV all the time, it seems normal because you've seen it coming. Oh yeah, I watch the commercials for the debates, and it's all normalized in your mind. And for me, I see a clip, and I'm just like, why the fuck is this still a thing? How is anyone going along with this?
I mean, I think people forget these are edited. I mean, they can make crowds look bigger, and they can make them sound bigger.
I went to see
all based on camera angles. And
I went to see the Bozo show when I was a kid, and we got in there, and that man was at a crushing moment. It was like, this place is fucking tiny.
Yeah.
And Cookie is gonna die. That guy is like 150 years old. And that was the first time I realized, like, wow, cameras are tricky.
There is magic. Yeah, I had the same reaction as an adult when I went to the NBC studios in New York and saw Conan O'Brien's set. And that, I mean, on TV it looks enormous, and it's like 12 feet big in real life.
No, it's horrible.
It's so small. It doesn't make any sense.
Those little TV studios will get you, and then you see it, and it's like, look at this. There's a giant crowd there.
Like, how did they trick me? I know what that's really like.
So what the hell were we talking about?
Hillary.
Oh yeah, right.
And how you're able to kind of spot the movie magic that takes place once you get a little distance from it.
Yeah, I gotta find our videos here. I'll pull it up in a second. But we want to hear the one where she was just fucking around again with some stupid accent. Is that right?
She was in Alabama this time. Now, as you'll recall, in 2007, she made a famous speech where she...
I ain't always tired. I come too far from where I started from.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
She puts on like
what
a southern
stupid
voice.
Cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hitlery. We've been pronouncing her name wrong.
Yeah,
Hitlery Cuntlin.
I think that David Box has made that name up, and it doesn't make sense because her name isn't anything land. It's Ton.
Cuntlin.
It should be Cuntun, but that doesn't sound that good. But
yeah, wait, I never realized that.
Yeah, me neither. Whoops.
And he made it Hitlery Cuntland. And I've just been going with it for like a year.
I just forced the L back in there.
Right. It should
That's
be
okay.
It should be Hitlery Cunton.
Or Clunton.
Clunton. No, Clunton's no good. It's got to be Cunton. See, you want to put the L in, right? You can go Cuntland. Everyone will still know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's been working so far.
You want to hear her? Oh no, that's the old one. Hold on, sorry. We had somebody keeps calling. Somebody keeps calling and hanging up like a cunt.
Maybe it's Hitlery. Have you noticed that even the pictures of Hillary, that are like supposed to depict her having a good image, she still just looks like a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has like that Dick Cheney evil look about her.
Yeah.
Where like her eyes are real dead and vacant, and she just looks like a cyborg, like a robot.
Yeah.
She exists only to act as a presidential candidate.
People are dead. What difference does it make if it's my fault or not?
Yeah, P.S. Benghazi.
Right. When she had that outburst. What
Yeah.
difference does it make? Like, bitch, because we think you did it, you fucking idiot.
That's what difference it makes.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Who, me or David
I found
Box?
it. Okay, sorry. No, I couldn't find. I've got like a billion tabs open, and I couldn't find the stupid fucking Hillary video for a minute. What are you doing, Andrea? Come on, I'm stalling, so you gotta fucking.
Oh, I
roll
thought
on
you
things,
found
not
it.
be looking at your stupid fucking phone, you fucking douchebag.
I only know how to be a douchebag. Yeah, so not much has changed in the last 8 years since Hillary gave the first Southern drawl speech, because she appeared in Alabama recently.
She was in Selma.
Wasn't
she?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
And most of her speech she gave in a way that she felt would be more appealing to her listeners. Something that maybe made her seem like an every woman.
Mm-hmm.
So she tried to be culturally relative and failed miserably?
Yeah, well,
I haven't seen it, so I'm excited.
I mean, for somebody
Now
who
let's
speaks
not
publicly,
let's not judge her before. I mean, it might be a really good speech.
Oh. No, I'm talking just in terms of accent.
Well, who knows? Maybe she did it just to be folksy, and it was a smart political move. That's the thing that disgusts me most about politics. Is people who have half a fucking brain, but for some reason they're still interested in politics and they take it all real seriously. They always talk about it in this way of like, oh, you know, well, she's smart. She's appealing to this block, and she's trying to ingratiate herself with this demographic. Like, you're just saying that she's fake.
She's a fraud.
Every person that discusses, like, political strategy and stuff, you should all fucking be punched in the balls a million times in a row for being that much of a douchebag that you understand it and you're impressed by it. You know? Like, oh, look at this strategy. Well, you know, I had a friend that went to work for, he was, like you said, you had a friend that did campaign work and stuff.
Yeah.
So did I. And he worked for a Democrat in Missouri. I don't remember the name. And he was talking about, you know, he's all excited about the election 4 years ago, or 8 years ago, actually, I think. And I asked him, you know, what do you think about Ron Paul? And he's like, well, Ron Paul sure shows that Mitt Romney better have a strong ground game in like this and that state. I'm like, no. He was but he couldn't discuss politics in any other way other than deceptive strategy, because that's all it is. Like,
Right.
he couldn't even pretend that anything was real anymore. And he thinks he's real slick being in that world.
right?
You know?
And those people think that they're so smart for being able to dissect this strategy and that they have like a unique perspective on it, when really they're just completely ingrained in the system and can't see it for what it is.
Right. Let's listen to this Hillary clip for a minute. Do I have it? There we go.
Us into economic messes and Democratic presidents having to come in and clean them up.
Oh, God, is she believable as a fucking big hand gesturing puppet? Look at her. She looks like a ventriloquist dummy. She doesn't even look real. It's very alarming. And she looks like some of her skin is going to fall off at any moment. Hold on.
You know, when my husband became president, thanks to a lot of you in this room, I remember after that election in '92, him saying to me, it's so much worse than they told us. The debt of our country had been quadrupled in the prior 12 years.
Shut up.
The deficits had exploded. And so he had to roll up his sleeves and work hard.
On fucking an intern's mouth. It's all like we said. That's all you remember about that guy.
Yeah.
The deficits had exploded, and then his dick exploded in a fat brunette under the desk while he was talking to an Arab emissar, some shit.
And at the end of 8 years, we had 23 million new jobs. Incomes were rising at the top, the middle, working folks, poor people.
Working folks. Yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
putting on a little fucking... This is how elitist these people are. They think when you talk to someone who's different than you need to talk to them like they talk or they won't get it.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're hanging out with a white guy that you know, and then like your black friend shows up, and then the white guy that you've known for a year or something starts talking different when the black guy gets there. Like, I love that shit, dude.
Hey, man, I know you feel me.
Yeah, and I love that moment of like, no, most white people don't do it that bad, but they alter their posture and the things they say, and like now they're like a little more serious and tough about things for some reason because they think black people are just all fucking business all the time, you know. It's like I love it when I have just a white friend that doesn't know how to talk to other, you know, people who are different than them.
He's talked to 3 black people before. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I've called people out on it too, and then I've also I had one friend that did it really bad this one time, and then as soon as we left his house, I told my black friend, I'm like, he talks. That's not how he talks. I've never heard him talk like that. Like, never heard him talk even remotely like that. Like, we smoke weed and watch cartoons and giggle. Like, that's not him. Like, he just did that for you. It's like, oh, really? Like, yeah, totally. And then he's like, and then my black friend, somewhat predictably to some, suggested that we rob him. That's exactly true too. I'm not making any of that up. It's like, oh, so he's a pussy like that, huh? All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm like, no. I wasn't saying that, Wallace. His name was Wallace.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear the rest of this douchebag.
And we ended up with a balanced budget and a surplus. And then we got another Republican president.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Boy, did he leave a mess to President Obama.
Yeah.
We were on the brink of a Great Depression, not just a recession.
Oh,
we were losing 800,000 jobs a month. Now, I know these are inconvenient facts for your Republican friends and neighbors, but the truth is, President Obama doesn't get the credit he deserves for saving the American economy from falling into a Great Depression.
That's what I always say. That's what I always say. Things are so much better than they were 8 years ago. Everything's better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hope and change.
It's totally changed.
Yeah.
That guy did it. Because he was able to do that as one person, as the president. He was able to personally go in. And it's just like when you work at a factory and you just sit there on the line and you just do freedom work.
And you just change things.
Yeah, you just change things.
Yeah.
Like, if he had done anything of any substance, actually, as an individual, they would cite it constantly instead of this constant vague
I mean, it's
bullshit,
the buzzwords,
you know?
man. Jobs,
Yes.
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah, and instead of saying
budget.
instead of saying he reduced the deficit by X amount, he created this much job growth.
He introduced this program that's had wild success.
Yeah.
What?
What is?
Ooh, what was that?
I have
What was
no
that?
idea. That was so weird. But no, it's jargon. It's just here are the things you want to hear.
I mean, it's almost like they're playing SimCity. It's like they do it all with numbers. They don't.
It's exactly like that.
What happens in your
62% job increase. Which I'm wondering, how do they even get that? Because there's no more unions. There are, but very few. Your industrial
and
belt
also,
is
like,
just dead.
Unions have
And
become
like, where are these jobs?
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood maybe, but there's even less there because computers can just do fucking everything.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I wonder if they count prison labor.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
They
definitely
do.
on the
Generated
rise.
a lot of those jobs.
Oh yeah, Barack Obama has generated millions of jobs, and now they're all 61 cents an hour jobs.
Yeah.
You know.
Still counts.
Yeah, but those
We're
are
stimulating
jobs.
the economy.
Tickling it lately.
You know, we need ditch diggers too.
Yeah.
We gotta have ditch diggers. Isn't that an
Those
old
ditches
saying?
aren't gonna dig
The world
themselves.
needs ditch diggers too, or some shit. Isn't that an old saying?
I don't think I've ever heard
I
that.
think
No.
that's a thing. But why would
Well,
we?
someone's
Need,
got to pump the gas.
why would we need so many ditches though? Now that I'm thinking of it, like,
I mean, they pretty much build the prisons they're going to be sent to.
Yeah.
That's a
Over the
scary
weekend,
thought.
Senator Clinton and her campaign took a trip down south, and apparently so did her accent. Listen to this.
this is the classic.
I don't feel no ways tired.
Ah,
I come too far.
fire!
Started from.
From where I
Nobody
started
told me
from.
that the road would be easy.
Now she's quoting some old fucking. Well, I forget what it was, but
Yeah, well, those people wouldn't have understood her if she didn't say it with a southern accent, though.
what do you mean?
You know what I mean by those people. You heard that cheering.
Right, you're right.
It was all fake.
Yeah.
Like one type of
Smoke
person
and mirror
cheers that
cheers.
way.
Larry David did some stupid impression of Bernie Sanders that everybody's been fucking freaking out about and saying it's the funniest thing and posting it on whatever their
Everywhere.
site of choice is.
Twitbook.
So he's on
Twitbook.
he's on SNL.
Which, as we know, is gold.
Those are the funniest people in the country.
Yeah.
That's the top of the top.
The
This is
earmark for comedy.
the comedic elite.
Yes.
This is who this is. It doesn't get any better. How else would they get that kind of a job other than being the funniest, right?
Name one
Like,
person who's ever done better than Saturday Night Live.
There's no one.
No.
It's nonstop funny for 50 years, and it never needs to change.
Yeah. Brilliantly written.
Right. Yeah. So here's stupid Larry David, who I like, actually. But
yeah.
Here's the Saturday Night Live sketch. And they got this... This guy is supposed to be playing Anderson Cooper here at the beginning. And he looks almost... It's weird enough to be a black guy in whiteface.
Doing whiteface,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, something looks just terrible. And listen to his impression. This is just pitiful, dude.
To the first Democratic debate of the 2016 campaign. I'm your moderator, Anderson Cooper, and I hope I do you proud tonight, Kathy Griffin.
How is that supposed to be an Anderson Cooper impression?
I can't possibly understand
I mean, he's not even going for the voice. Not
No,
even
not at
even
all.
remotely. It's like an octave higher than it should be. And then he's not mimicking the pacing or the tone or the inflection.
Yeah,
nothing.
no
He just-
mannerisms,
He's
hand
talking
gestures.
in his own voice, an octave higher than it should be.
But
And
he said he was Anderson Cooper.
that's the essence.
That's enough.
That's the essence of any great impression. You announce who you are,
Yeah.
so that everyone knows. I'm Jesse Ventura. What is that?
It's not me.
It's stupid David Box trying to freak us
No,
out.
it's not me. I
Stop
unplugged my
yelling.
thing.
All right, well.
First up, former governor of Maryland, Martin O'Malley.
That's not an Anderson Cooper impression. I can't even get over how not of an Anderson Cooper impression that is.
At best, it's generic newscaster.
This is what my face looks like. When I was mayor of Baltimore, I did such a good job, they made 2 TV shows about my city, Homicide and The Wire. Hey everyone, I'm Lincoln Chafee. I used to be senator. That was fun.
They're all getting announced as their names. And so far, everyone who's done an impression, there's been an announcer who said, this is who this is. And they still come out and do the hacky 80s lounge comedian. Hey, I'm whatever. You know, what are you
Yeah.
doing? You're on television right now. You step it up a little bit, you fucking hacks.
I'm running for
Dude,
president.
I haven't seen this show in years, and this is worse than I remember it. This is horrible.
Yeah, oh yeah, it keeps getting worse.
This is horrible.
And now I'm here. This is fun too.
Former U.S. Senator Jim Webb.
Anderson Cooper he's just like standing like Truman Capote in that stupid fucking movie. He's just like, make sure I look extra gay and kind of purse my lips for some reason. I don't see how that's an Anderson Cooper at all. Oh, go on.
Hello, I'm Jim Webb, and it's about damn time I get to talk.
Oh God, this is too lazy. I'm skipping to Larry David. There we go. All right, here's Larry David as Bernie Sanders. This is what everybody's been talking about. Which I think the whole gag is like, I'm a super Jew of the same age group. So
Yeah.
therefore, I just am, I'm selling this, and it's
I'm
pretty
a
easy.
white guy with a recognizable face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Why is the fucking crowd so loud on this, and the fucking the people are quiet?
I don't know. That's weird.
Why is that happening? You sent the wrong video, dude. You did. There was a way better one that was just Larry David. Like just his section, and the audio was way better. Let me find that if I can. But this is horrible.
Well, yeah, so far he's just been Larry David doing a Larry David impression.
But why even criticize him when the rest of them are so terrible?
Right.
We could just leave him alone.
Yeah.
And we could still be a fan of him.
Well, I guess my point is that they could have gotten anybody to get up there and do an impression of themselves.
Right, yeah. Which that's basically what they're all doing. They're just calling themselves other names.
Yeah. And then they make a goofy face at the end of their sentence.
It just makes me wonder, are they fighting for relevancy and trying to be like, what's the word we use when things get popular on the internet?
Viral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how it succeeded, but... I guess it did become viral.
It's just because people are such fans of Bernie Sanders, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
And I think that yeah, dude, a lot
The
of people
Facebook
are
generation has latched onto Bernie Sanders hard.
Yeah, and I think that he's pulling off the same thing that like Barack Obama pulled off when he was running, is like, hey, I'm not too serious to kind of mess around with the youth a little, you know what I mean? It's cool, guys. Like, I'm not all business and ties and stupid messed up hair and meaningless vagaries.
Yeah.
And fake
You're only going to get a little bit of that with me.
makeup and rehearsed hand motions. That's not all I can do.
Yeah.
I could fucking have somebody write me a line and joke around a little.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Look at me loosening up.
Yeah, look at this. This is the Larry David thing. If I can fucking just get past these news people. There they go. I didn't play them.
What does the email scandal say about your ability to handle other crises as president?
Well, Coop, I welcome this question because I rehearsed this one the longest.
You know
This is supposed to be Hillary Clinton.
Can I just jump in here? This may not be great politics, but I think the American people are sick and tired about hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
So that's a line that Bernie Sanders actually said in a debate, and he didn't even mimic it like how he said it. He didn't even try to say it how he said it. If you're just going to do the exact same line.
Yeah. You have something to work off of with that.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah. It's too bad because usually Larry David is good.
And then everybody makes a big deal that Bernie Sanders responded. Do we have that?
Yeah, I sent you that one too.
Okay, let me look. There we go. And everybody makes a bit. What is he on? One of those fucking
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh God, another just like
Quality programming.
Who
you mean to
watches
say?
this shit, dude? Who like? Honestly, I can't fathom turning on Jimmy Kimmel. I couldn't fathom it.
No.
I honestly, I couldn't. It just would never happen. Just never. I will watch an episode of Law and Order that I've seen 500 times. If I have to watch television, I will watch that fucking shark vacuum infomercial that always fools you when you're going through the TV guide and you're like, oh, cool, sharks. And it's that stupid infomercial for those shark vacuums. I'd rather watch that shit. I would. Than fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Who the fuck are you, Jimmy Kimmel?
Seriously, where did he come from?
With the
He
Man
was
Show?
on the Man Show.
Yeah,
on
and
Comedy
Is
Central,
that
remember
really
that?
what propelled him into stardom?
He just made dumb burnout comments in the background of that show. He had no fucking fire, no talent, no fucking anything, dude. No intensity. He's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. And so is Adam Carolla. Listen to Adam Carolla's podcast for
thank you.
20 minutes and tell me that he's not a fucking boring motherfucker with just nothing interesting to say.
I mean, that's the trend these days, man. YouTubers and everything. It's just commentators and talk show hosts with
Yeah, and
nothing
it's
to
short
say.
attention spans.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
nothing. Just a bunch of douchebags from the 90s that won't give up.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. You're not good. You never were. You're from an era where there was fucking 5 comedy shows, and you were one of them. That's why people still know you. We've been 10 years into the internet era of we can all upload our own comedy, and there's a million fucking funny people out there. We don't need your dumbass. Ew, Jimmy Kimmel. Here, listen to the, this is Bernie Sanders' response.
What did you think of Larry David's impersonation of you?
Well, I thought it was pretty
So he just impersonated him back.
I mean,
Just
if you could call that an impersonation.
God, that was so nervous and forced. Obviously, the
Yeah,
line was
yeah.
written for him. Pretty. Obviously.
And then you didn't let it play, but immediately after that, they play the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme
Oh,
song.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Because that was all spontaneous.
Yeah, that's real cute there, you fucking brainwashing fucking deplorable humans that produce this bullshit.
I understand that reference.
Dude, listen to this again. Listen to his delivery of this. And if you see the clip at home, his face just reveals how unsure of what the joke even is. He doesn't even know. He's probably never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm. He doesn't know why what he's saying would be funny. Somebody told him to say this, and he's going to get a big fucking laugh out of it. You know what I mean? That's all he knows.
I thought it was pretty good.
He did the pacing all wrong.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be pretty. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be more drawn out like that. and like relax a little.
Yeah.
Fucking, you're supposed to be so cool. You dumb old fucking gas bag. Look at this gas bag. Just blowing a bunch of hot wind. Fucking faggot. I really hate this guy.
Yeah, and I just feel like every move he makes exposes him even more as just like the young generation's obvious choice. You know, he's catering to the youth vote in a way that seems painfully obvious.
I caught a bit of a Fox News broadcast today, and they referred to him as a pro-gun Democrat.
What?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Is that true? Why don't you look it up?
Let's find out.
David Box, what do you think of this old windbag?
I have not been paying attention to him, but I do like him more than I like Hillary Clinton and the Donald Trump guy. But I'm just kind of like
But I want you to go
jaded.
back to Cuntland now. I like that you went for Cunton, but I think we need to go back to Cuntland.
Yeah, we may confuse
Okay.
our listeners.
I was coming up to it, and I wasn't sure.
It sounds weird.
Fuck.
But yeah, on Fox News they called him. They were like, yeah, they called him a social. They called him a pro-gun socialist.
Yeah, he is anti-gun regulation on a federal level. He believes that states should be able to deal with gun control in their own way based on who they are.
Son of a bitch.
There you have it.
All right. Well, I'll give him that one, I guess.
I guess I'm voting for him.
Yeah. Fuck. Maybe we'll have to just change our whole tune and believe in the system again. That's the whole thing, too. Even if he does turn out to be some genuine figure, what does it matter?
Right.
What's he gonna fucking do?
What can he really do?
The fuck is he gonna do?
Even if he means
Wait,
it.
hold on. I wonder if it'll just be the same little stupid fucking trick that's been happening over and over for my entire lifetime and who knows how long. Well, Clinton was a great president, but it was that damn Republican Congress that just stood in his way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bush had a lot going on. He was a good president, but that Democratic Congress really just couldn't get anything done. Is it? I wonder if it'll be the same fucking stupid bullshit over and over again. While he does have the fucking Congress on his side, he'll stall around for a few years and say he's fucking getting acclimated to the situation and listening to his advisors. And I have to meet with foreign leaders and go all over the place and fucking really get some thinking done on this. And then as soon as Congress shifts in power, then he'll have all kinds of fucking ideas. I don't know why I said incentives, but he'll have all kinds of fucking, bills that he wants to introduce and blah, blah, blah. And it'll just be, you know how this country works.
Yeah, that's how we keep things fair.
What am I going to do?
How many years do you think he'll be in the presidency before they give him a Nobel Peace Prize?
400.
400. Yeah. Well, he voted against the Iraq War.
Yeah, but then he voted for all the funding
to
make it happen. Which some people would say, well, hey, if it's going to happen, then he wants the troops to have the proper supplies and whatever. You know what I mean? So there's even some... But
look who loves Bernie Sanders all of a sudden.
Yeah, what happened to you, man?
He's gotten inside your mind.
I want to rub his big shiny head for luck. I want to knock his yarmulke off and rub his head.
He kind of looks like he's Bernie Sanders has this look about him like his flesh is starting to melt a little bit. His head, all of his skin on the top of his head seems a little tight, and everything else seems a little bit like an inch lower than it should be.
That's how they all are. That's why I don't wear a suit, because that's what you look like in a suit. Even if you're...
Is that just about wearing a suit?
Dude, even if you're skinny, you get neck rolls in a suit, it's fucking neck rolls on the back of your head, you know what I mean?
Maybe
He's
you're just
pretty
wearing
bad,
the wrong
though. It seems
size
like
suit.
he's draped over his skeleton.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Draped over a skeleton.
Yeah, David Box, but aren't we all just walking around draped over a skeleton? You know what I mean? And when you think about it, really?
Sorry,
Wow, nice try there. What else on the election, Andrea? You got any thoughts?
I've kind of said what I just can't get over the fact that, I mean, okay, so here's another thing. Have presidential candidates always appeared on TV shows? Is that a regular occurrence, or is that new? Because I'm having trouble,
hip youngster TV shows?
Yeah, like late night
Jimmy
talk
Kimmel?
shows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but we were pretty young.
Right.
It doesn't seem like a thing Bush would have done, but I remember Barack Obama doing it.
Yeah.
you
On The
know.
Daily Show. I remember him on The
Yeah,
Daily Show,
and
which
then
kind of doesn't even count,
John
though.
McCain tried to go out and do some comedy and stuff at one point, you know.
Like stand-up comedy?
Clinton did, didn't he?
No,
Some
he
talk
just
shows.
went on a few shows or whatever. I was thinking it probably started with Clinton, yeah.
I mean, as soon as TV became relevant and a method of, persuasion and relatability, they were pretty much on there when you had, late 80s. You
Well,
had
they
these
used to
shows getting real
broadcast-
popular.
Oh, yeah.
They started going on there. I mean, it was just an outlet for them, and they didn't even need to do anything in the White House. They just showed up at Hollywood, and they did it for them.
And started walking around campaigning.
Yeah.
Remember the Morton Downey Jr. show? We used to always play clips from that. That would have aspiring candidates on there, and they just fucking smoke cigarettes and scream at each other. Oh, dude.
See, if things were still like
I
that,
would watch TV.
a little
if that,
grittier.
Yeah, if it was still like Morton Downey, that was his name, right? Morton Downey Jr. show, I think. And he would say just fucking horrible, venomous, just screaming at people with his cigarette and his big stupid rings on and shit. Fucking nice shirt and a nice watch and everything and slick hair. And he's just, he looks like a frustrated lawyer, who's working late and he's about to fucking eat Chinese food out of the carton with his assistant right before they go through some old book and discover the loophole. He's like that. He had that kind of look, and he'd be like, in people's faces, screaming and really just making things awkward. It was fucking uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's what you need.
Yes,
Something
that's
that's
what
not
you need.
manufactured or controlled.
Right. Let this psycho just fucking just rail on anyone.
Let him have it.
We've played the clip a bunch of times. I guess we could do it going into a break. Ron Paul on the Morton Downey Jr. show. You remember that?
Yes.
That's a classic. And if you're a Ron Paul fan, huh, Lenny?
Oh, absolutely. I haven't seen this, though. Is he savage in it?
My
Does he just let
God.
loose?
Ron Paul is a straight G, first of
Absolutely.
all.
I mean, I love it.
And
If you make people uncomfortable, you're doing something right. I mean, honestly.
right, and he's still saying this. This was back in the 80s, and he's saying the same things that he would now. And they're mostly, I think, talking about the drug war. And people are literally just getting visibly like red with anger and sweating in the crowd and other people on the show. And he's just advocating, the logical
legalization or just
I mean, and
decriminalization.
anyone, I don't think it's possible to be of any considerable amount of intelligence and for you to think that the drug prohibition is a good idea. I just don't. I think anyone with half a brain. So he's just speaking basic, what I would consider to be basic logic, and just making basic fucking logical points. And these people are losing their fucking minds. They just can't take it. They really can't take it. I'm going to play a little bit of this.
You said this was in the 80s before we started?
88.
Oh, okay.
88.
Yeah. 88.
It's a pretty high time in American sobriety. No.
Yeah, right. No, I'm sure
No
this
drugs.
I'm sure this TV host in 88 never did any drugs. he was never around any of that shit. But this whole thing, there's like a fat kid in here at one point who goes, are you saying we just give up? We just give up on the hundreds of thousands of murders that happen because of drugs and we just do this and that, blah, blah, blah. And Ron Paul just delivers the greatest line ever. Like, no, I'm saying that we we take a more sensible approach through community and family values and this and that to deal with drug addiction as a disease instead of acting like an authoritarian government can legislate you into behaving better. And he goes, how about this? This is Ron Paul. And he goes, you're a little bit overweight. How about I pass a law against you being fat or whatever, and it's for your health, by the way. And the whole studio just explodes. I probably just butchered that pretty bad, but that's where you realize how fucking insane these people were then.
Yeah.
And he was mostly dealing with right-wingers back then who opposed him because he was too radical. And now he's too far right for, now he's too much of a right-winger for, everyone thinks he's a racist right-wing Christian. Let's do a quick break.
All right.
I'm going to go smoke. We'll come back and do some more shit. We still got a bunch of shit for you guys. This is the Overdose Talk Show, going into the Morton Downey Jr. Talk Show in 1988 for the break today. We'll be back. All right. That was the whole fucking Morton Downey Jr. show. That shit was hilarious. That shit is funny.
Yeah. Why don't they do things like that anymore?
He's fucking flapping his arms and running around stage after he makes a comment and stuff. Shit is really good.
Now that's television.
That's television. So what's happening?
Well, while we're
Andrea?
kind of on the subject, the UN recently came out with a plan to decriminalize drugs globally.
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't have David Box. Are you there?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
So the CEO of Virgin, Virgin International, Virgin Mobile, all those. He sits on this UN Council for Drug.
I had a friend who was a virgin till he was 22. We used to call him the CEO of Virgins. I'm sorry.
He intentionally leaked a document that outlined the UN's plan to decriminalize drugs on a global scale and to not allow countries to persecute crimes based on drug offenses. And he did that because he was afraid that if he didn't leak the information, that the UN might be pressured into changing their mind and not going through with the plan. So several days later, the UN announced that they will not be following through with the decriminalization of drugs globally because, quote unquote, one country has placed too much pressure on the UN to prevent them from doing that. Now, they haven't come out and said which country.
That's strange.
Isn't that weird?
Benefit from the war on drugs.
Who would stop that from happening?
Amsterdam.
Do you think it was Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Because then they won't get as much tourism.
I don't know. If we had to... Now, let's just say we had to guess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it had to be done. Let's just pose the question, okay?
You can't make me.
What country benefits the most and wields the most international influence due to the money that they route into clandestine operations via their role in the war on drugs? If there was one country, what do you think it would be?
Mexico? I'm sorry. What is Mexico?
A shithole.
Where is Mexico?
A big shithole of women that all get fat when they're 22. Everybody thinks they're the shit.
Is it Afghanistan with their lovely poppy fields?
I don't know. Could it be? Hold on. Oh, you know what it is? It's
what?
I know. It's Kenya, where they drink that fucking like gasoline drink. Fucking
yeah.
lay in the streets all day. Barack Obama's brother, his half brother, is hassling tourists for fucking to pay him for autographs so we can drink more gasoline. No, you guys ever see that on Vice?
What?
Yeah, Barack Obama's brother.
Half-brother.
His half-brother in Kenya. He basically just fucking hassles tourists to give him money because he's Barack Obama's brother. Like, he's a fucking wino. But they drink this shit. What is that shit, Andrea?
Let me find out.
Is it worse than crocodile, is the question.
Oh, I know. Colombia. What is Colombia?
I said Colombia. I didn't say what
that
is
shit.
Colombia.
So it didn't count.
I'm sorry.
Could it be fucking Antarctica?
Must be.
No?
No.
What country benefits off of the war on drugs the most? What country has been caught 20, 30 times with their own military planes bringing the illegal drugs they supposedly oppose into the country to be used, as I said, as funding for clandestine operations? Is there one country like that? David Box, what's your answer?
Canada.
That's the one.
The USA.
Yay.
Ding, 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 ding.
David Box, that
Yeah.
answer was off the fucking hook, yo. That's not right. That was the wrong
Is that the
sound
right
effect.
answer?
No. Well, yeah, but it
Yeah.
was the wrong sound effect.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why my shit's frozen. I was trying to play the old phone off the hook noise, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
faster
that's what
than
you were
that,
saying.
I think.
I thought you were talking so.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it is
I
faster.
need to do something.
There it is. Yeah.
There you go.
So anyway, it's for something that they were so confident would be passed at the UN level. It's pretty amazing that one country was able to put enough pressure on to get it all to go away.
What
And
kind
we
of country
wouldn't-
would have that power?
Kenya.
Yeah, probably Kenya.
Yeah.
What is Colombia?
Columbia.
Hey, Columbia. Do you remember him? David Box?
Who was that?
He used to hand sew our underwear for us in college. Remember the guy we used to buy hand sewn underwear from in college? Columbia.
Were they comfortable?
They were the shit.
Hell
they were
yeah.
hand sewn leather underwear. Yeah,
They would
that's
contour perfectly to your penis.
That's what all the guys used to wear. Hand sewn leather underwear when I was in college.
Doesn't
and
that
this
get a
Ken
little?
guy,
Come on in.
he was spot on.
Come on in and have a seat.
Doesn't that get a little moist?
Our buddy Ryan.
That's
just
the
walked in.
point, Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea, stupid motherfucker. You know what? I was gonna grab him headphones, but we don't have another fucking headphone slot.
You'll just have to imagine what's going on in the headphones.
Yeah, we got somebody on Skype. So, all right. Where are we going next, Andrea? Is that the whole on that story? Is that all we got on that? That they just said one country stood in the way?
Yeah, that's all that they'll release.
And they're not going to say which one.
How do you think they did it?
Yeah.
Like what
I
kind
don't
of
think they
pressure?
need to.
Economic pressure or like?
Yeah, it's
we'll
money.
just
It's all money.
absolutely
You
kill
even said it earlier. Economic power is stronger than political
Oh, yeah.
power.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so if you want to influence the UN, you know what I mean? Like, does anyone even know how does a normal person, any of us, know how the UN works? What do they got? A fucking some kind of committee? I've heard of a UN committee before.
Yeah, I think that they have. I think they're broken down into mini committees.
So you got to get at those people.
Yeah, like for instance, Richard Branson, who is the Virgin guy, was a member sitting on the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, or the UNODC.
Why is he there? What is
Because
that?
he has lots of money.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else would it be? Is he
was good at record stores?
Yeah.
Probably did a lot of coke back in the day.
Spent his money very smartly, so I guess he has some kind of smarts.
Yeah, so obviously it's us.
Right. And he even came out and said on his personal blog, the reason I leaked this stuff is because I'm afraid someone's going to pressure them out of it. And I want you people to know that this is in the works.
Wow.
And
good
that
job,
it's achievable.
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Remember when he threw water on Stephen Colbert? No. That was awkward. They had a weird interview where they threw water on each other.
Oh, like on purpose?
Yeah, but it wasn't really planned, and it was very tense and awkward. Like he threw a mug of water in Stephen Colbert's face, and then Stephen Colbert, like, because he was obligated to, like, threw water back at him, but nervously, kind of, you know. It was very strange. You guys have seen that shit. Hey, we got somebody on the line.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, listen, I want to take this back a little bit to the beginning of the program.
Okay.
If I could. Who is that jagoff that was talking about that movie Snowpiercer? Who is that?
That's our friend Lenny.
That's good old me.
Yeah, he's Andrea's friend. That's why he's on the show. Andrea knew
All
a
right.
guy, and we said, sure, bring him in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't ever have him on the program again. None of you have seen this movie Snowpiercer, I believe. Have you?
No, we haven't seen it, but he really likes it. He thinks it's a good metaphor for...
It is the worst movie I have ever seen in my lifetime.
Why?
Ever.
What's so bad about it?
Okay, here's the premise. Let me just lay this on you. Here's the premise. It's about a train full of people. The whole of humanity lives on a train that is hurtling through the world, all over the world. It just goes around the world, which is covered in ice.
Hold on. Flaw number 1. How can a train jump over hurdles? Okay, now that's first.
not hurtling. Hurtling.
Oh, I see.
Hurtling. Hurtling. As in, like, it's going real fast. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, it never stops. It never stops. It just goes around and around in circles, and everybody that's alive in the whole world lives on a train. Here's my problem with that. First of all, how did you get on that train? Secondly, why is everyone else dead? Thirdly, why is the entire world covered in ice?
They never address
these things. And
these
then there's a polar bear that just shows up outside the window, and everybody's like, wow, look at that polar bear. And then the train crashes, and everybody goes out into the snow, and then that's the end of the movie. Worst piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my life, in my entire life.
Well, the first minute of it actually describes why the world is frozen, so you should pay attention to that.
Did you miss the first minute of it?
Did you miss the first minute?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. What do I pay attention to the first minute of shit?
I will
No.
agree. Movie-wise, it's not something that you watch as enjoyable as other films like Interstellar. Like, that's just fun to watch.
Okay, now, so
But
you're
it's an
you're gonna
allegory. It's not-
use Interstellar as a good Katie. Caller. What would you use as your benchmark for what you consider a good movie that you're measuring Snowpiercer against?
Right. What's a good
Okay,
movie
my
to
favorite
you?
movies. Well, My Bloody Valentine 3D. Scared the hell out of me. Secondly, anything from the Saw series. There's like 8 of those bad boys. I saw them all in the theater. Those are good. You know, but like this Snowpiercer shit. Look, I was looking on Netflix the other day, and it was in the critically acclaimed section
Oh, yeah.
of Netflix. And I said, who is the critic? Because it sure as hell ain't me. I'm not acclaiming that. You know what I mean? Terrible. just a terrible, terrible movie. Terrible. And you brought it up not just once, but you brought it up twice, 2 times.
Hey,
you
that's a
wanted
good
to talk
point.
about Snowpiercer.
That's a good
twice.
point. She's right. You did.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I mean, where do you get off? You know?
About what? About it being terrible? No, but about being a fantastic work of science fiction? Absolutely.
From what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like a bad metaphor. I mean, the way that you described it, you who hates... What is the fucking movie called?
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer. It sounds like a pretty solid metaphor for modern society. Like you said, we're on this train, we're just going in circles, and we can't get off. You know what I mean?
Wait, what is this metaphor thing you're talking about?
I mean, may I have the pleasure?
Sure.
The metaphor is that disregarding the environmental snow and the logistics of having a train go around the world
Blah,
and
blah,
getting
blah.
people
No,
on
I'm
there.
sorry. That's
Is the class system. You have the lower
I'm
class.
not trying to cut you off here, but shut up because it sucks. Really.
Well, we have the middle class and the upper class. Now, it's portrayed quite physically within the film. We have the lower class with no windows, completely devoid of information in the outside world, and the same as the upper class.
I'm digging this.
Now, they do different things. The upper class is lavishing in hedonism and clubs and taking their drugs and lavishing in the power that they think they control. And then the lower class is just struggling to survive. They don't concern themselves with the outside world because to them the whole world is the train. And then the middle class, go ahead.
Where does the polar bear come in?
The polar bear is to signify that life can survive outside of the train. They thought it was too cold, and then they're showing that, the world can continue. That if a goddamn polar bear is still...
can live through anything. That doesn't mean a human could live.
They can't live through our, destruction of their environment, so...
I don't understand.
She's an idiot.
If the train is hurtling around the world nonstop, where's the polar bear exactly?
When they stop,
is he
at
like
the end
latched
of the film,
onto the side of the train like a
no,
gremlin?
No. At the final scene, they make a lateral escape from their system, from the train, and they see a polar bear, and thus signifying that the life can exist with outside of their train. It's in the ending scene. You see a polar bear.
It's kind of like how when there's a world record. It may stand for many, many years, caller. You're familiar with this. And then as soon as it's broken, out of the woodwork comes 100 more people that can also break the record. It's like when you see a polar bear out there, that's when you realize it's possible. I might be able to get off the train. Don't you understand?
Yeah, but they don't. They're not like, oh, let's get off the train. They're like, oh, let's overthrow Tilda Swinton and see if we can't get up into
overthrowing
the good
him...
part where they have liquor and shit. They don't say to themselves, let's get off the train. But then they just do accidentally because the train fucking crashes, and they're like, well, now we have no choice.
Well, my question is, who gets off the train?
Yeah.
It's not
I don't know,
everyone.
that little girl and
yeah,
shit.
and the girl is from where?
I don't remember, bro.
She's from the middle of the train. She was the one who had a proper education by her father. She saw the outside world for what it can be. Unlike everyone else, even the main hero who grew up in the back of the train, and the entire world to him was forward and backward. And just to wrap it up, I mean, you look at Bong Joon-ho, that's the director and cinematographer of the film. He uses the use of profile looking left and right for the main hero and main villain, that their entire life is the train. They can only look forward or backward, but the two people from the middle of the train, the Asian dad and the little girl who escape at the end, they are the only characters in the whole film who look out windows and look to see the world for what it really is.
Don't you understand? It's about
Wait,
it's about looking at hold on.
Lenny.
It's about looking around and not being satisfied with the status quo, okay? It's about wondering if there's something more out there, man. Don't you get it?
No, I don't get it. That's why I'm calling.
That's why you're a socialist. You're a socialist, aren't
really,
you?
I still don't get it after you explain it to me.
You're a
well,
socialist.
If you want to, there's a fantastic video essay.
I'm predicting, based on the fact that she doesn't understand this movie, that she's a socialist.
Can you speak to that?
What is a socialist? I don't agree with that. Is Bernie Sanders is a socialist, right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Are you a Bernie Sanders fan?
No, not at all. Here's why. I would vote for Bernie Sanders if he didn't sound so much like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York. It sounds exactly like you guys seen Gangs of New York.
Oh my God,
Lenny,
you're right.
The movie buff.
Yeah.
The movie buff.
No, I'm not going to argue with that point. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Let's welcome back to the show our father.
Who art next door? Oh, you guys are not Catholics, that's right. Who was that asshole that just called?
I don't know.
I mean, that was so rude. I mean, I don't understand it to just start attacking Lenny, who's,
I think Lenny's done a good job tonight.
I'm still here. Can you
He's
hear
doing
me?
his best.
Yeah, Lenny's doing the best
Dad,
he can.
it's me. I mean, it's your other daughter. You know who I am.
All
you
right.
called me Dad.
See, now we have to reveal it's our arch nemesis, and also known as the other sister, who's calling in. She's never been a part of the show once, and we just had the idea to have her call in tonight, and this is what happens. This was not planned, but she really doesn't get that metaphor.
No,
or she just doesn't care for it.
Well, I don't like that movie anyway.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No, I haven't seen it. I feel like I'm just as qualified as any of you to talk about it.
All right, now what do you want?
I don't really want anything. You know, that's not to say that I'm completely satisfied with
Andrea. I think
any of this.
I think I made a horrible mistake
With what?
with taking these calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This conversation has really
You
gotten
did
away
it.
from us.
It's over.
Well,
Wait.
I've got one more thing to say.
Okay. Oh, he hung up on us? Oh, fuck you.
Oh, we got you.
Fuck you. I have hung up on him like 6 times in a
That's
row.
the first time.
Now you want to play games and hang up on us? We'll see. Now we'll have to develop a new fucking prank.
Yeah. It's on, old man.
Yeah. You want to be my piece of shit dad, do you? Hang up on me.
You think you're so great.
Yeah. Whatever. Fine.
All right, well, thanks for taking my call.
Nigga, please. Nigga, can you lend a nigga a pencil?
All right, thanks.
Well, thanks for calling.
Goodbye now.
Fuck off. Later. I don't know, man. She just doesn't get it. There she goes. She doesn't get it. Took her a while to hang up.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
I get it.
I get it. I don't
Sounds
know
good to
that
me.
see, but I hate movies, so I can't say whether or not it's a good movie. 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
watch
I mean,
movies.
if you like when you watch movies, if you're looking for some kind of emotion felt, it's going to be a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you look at movies and you like, the shots, the setup, the score, and you watch it with that specific reason, the metaphor that they're talking about, that's good. But by itself, like if I didn't know what it was talking about, no, it's not a good movie. It's not something you watch for. We walk into the theater saying, holy shit, that was great. Like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Star Wars, like, is that going to be good? I think that might make me go, holy shit.
Guys.
The prequels were terrible, but it
Wait
might
a
be
second.
good.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead, go
I
ahead.
gotta
Okay.
take us somewhere else.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There was another floating city spotted in the sky.
Yes.
So we had the one over China last week.
What?
This one was over
Yeah, hundreds, if not thousands, of people last week in China witnessed what looked like a row of skyscrapers coming out of a cloud floating across the sky.
the UK. Yeah, kind of peeking out from some clouds.
We saw the video of it.
Yeah, and it really does look like a city.
It ran on mainstream news in China. I don't have the original video right now, but yeah, and then so
you can
now
look it up. Just Google floating
that
city
did blow
in
my
China.
mind. Look at that. I don't even need a movie.
So now
It'll come right up.
now a bunch of people saw basically the same thing in England, right?
Yeah. Now, as you'll recall, the video of China is actually of really good quality. You can see almost details on what look like skyscrapers.
Could this just be somebody fucking around? Like,
It's definitely much lower resolution.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It does look very similar. It looks like some skyscrapers peeking out of some clouds, just like it did in China. Now, they're trying to say it's a Fata Morgana or Fata Morgana. It's an optical illusion or a mirage, basically, based on the way the light bends moving through moisture and temperature and things like that. That would create just a light manipulation that resembles a floating city, which is awfully convenient.
Mm-hmm. There's
However,
always ways to explain things,
Yeah, but the original video
It
has
was
been analyzed. It
swamp
doesn't
gas
appear
on
to
it.
be CGI. It doesn't appear to be animated or added in post-production. It appears to be something that actually appeared in the sky.
So it could be, like we talked about, one of those light refraction dealies.
Yes, yeah.
But then why would that happen twice in a week? And it's never happened before, And it looks like a modern city. That's the thing, though, is like, if it was some supernatural event or some shit, why would it just look like a city we have right now on this planet? Not like a city we had 100 years ago or 100 years from now. It looks like a city from right now.
Right.
So...
Yeah,
on a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are trying to connect these appearances with Project Bluebeam, which we've talked about a lot. But basically, some kind of test run of holograms or projections. Something.
I want to know if this is part of Project Bluebeam. I've been my cell phone just started ringing.
Well, it is.
Let's see. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
You guys still on the air?
Yeah, so are you, actually.
Nice. Well, I am on my way there, so I will be there in person.
All right,
to give you
cool.
all- Yeah, be there in 10 minutes.
We'll see you in a little while.
Is that Quagmire?
Yeah, that's Quagmire.
Yeah.
That's our friend Mark. We're going to have to ask him some questions about radio because, he was a radio pro some 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And he might have some advice for us. Because nothing's changed. Nothing's changed since then. We should get him to give us some old school advice. That'd be fucking hilarious. We'll have him come in. That's our
Improve
friend
our
Mark.
shtick a little.
He fancies himself to be somewhat of a radio personality.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does. But anyways, I want to know if you're working on secret cities in there. What kind of resume do I have to get clearance for this information? I've been a governor, a fighter. I want to know what's going on with these cities, and if it's a cover-up, the American people need to know.
It's kind of spooky. Do you have the new video?
Is there a video?
Yeah, there is. It's of a lower quality, as I said, but there is video evidence of it.
Whatever.
I'll
So
get
it's
it up
not
here.
audio, then we don't need to play it.
No, but
You
I
can
just
tell
thought
me
you-
about
you
it.
may wanna
I'll
see it,
yeah,
yeah.
I saw. Ooh, I know it's crazy. It's good.
It's
Saw it.
it's very similar.
Has it caused any mass hysteria?
No, and this
Oh.
one, for both instances, here's what's probably the most suspect thing is for both instances, they claim many people claim to have seen it with their eyeballs, but only one person in China pulled out their phone and started filming it in a way that we could see it. And
Yeah.
only one person in the UK did that too. Why isn't YouTube flooded with footage of these floating cities?
Did you
know?
Snopes it? That's your job, Andrea.
Yeah, I snoped it.
What'd they say?
They said that there's nothing to indicate that it was added post-production, but as of right now, there's no way to prove that it's fake or real.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have the original source file?
Yeah. I mean,
But a lot of
based
times
on-
you can just tell by okay, these were both sent to the same YouTube channel with 3,000 subscribers.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's the media source they chose to go to was this one YouTube channel twice. So a lot of times there's indicators like that with these things, but
Yeah.
Snopes would have picked up on that, right?
You would think, yeah, but
I'd like
but they,
to think.
yeah, they kind of are lazy, though. I mean, as we've talked about before,
They just like to debunk things too.
yeah. But in the United States, there was a bizarre happening called a crown flash, which was another thing that's being written off as just a manipulation of light due to changing moisture and
My computer is all
and
fucky. Sorry,
temperature.
That's why I'm letting you do everything here because I'm
Oh, that's okay.
desperately trying to get these articles to load.
So this thing, it's called a crown flash, which they explain away by saying that it's caused by ice, light passing through ice crystals up in the clouds.
Okay.
Which I feel like would be a fairly common occurrence. Now, supposedly, this doesn't usually
It's
happen
not,
with
it's not when a
sunlight.
Latin king makes his girlfriend show you her boobs. Crown flash this nigga. That's what I be working with. Why am I talking? That's not a Mexican.
No.
God, I suck.
The Blacken Kings.
The black Latin kings.
Yeah, that's a thing. But this crown flash is another sky anomaly, which basically looks like a big spotlight being flashed around up in the skies. It starts by looking like a fountain of light, like the light is shooting up in the air and then falling back down, and then it turns into a flashlight. But this is another thing that's like a super bizarre thing, and there's only one video of it.
Oh, I
see
saw
it?
this shit. Yeah. I did see that. That's weird.
It almost looks like, imagine you're
That's fucking
spraying
strange,
light
dude.
out of the end of a hose, and you're
Yes.
holding the hose like a foot back, and it's kind of like flinging around itself.
But it almost also has a look of like where it's a solid object. Like it almost like it looks like some kind of pillar of light that like can affect its surroundings and is swinging around. You know,
Yeah.
like it doesn't. Because it's bending. It doesn't look like a
Well-
straight source that's just shooting out like you would like. It doesn't look like a spotlight or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It almost looks like a Ghostbuster stream.
And-
That's what it looks like. It don't cross the streams. That's
I will,
one right there. Don't cross that thing. Do you
I'll
see
share
it?
this
It looks
video.
like what comes out of a proton pack.
It does. It looks exactly like that. And if
Yeah.
you'll notice, the sun is off to the right of the frame. However, this appears like the light source for this beam is coming straight from underneath it. even though you can see the sun behind the clouds off to the right. So I just don't understand how that's supposed to be.
Oh, it would have been fake. Does David Box have this video? He's our video expert.
I'm looking for it now, but I can't find it. I saw it earlier, though, and it doesn't look like it's doctored anything. If it is, it's done really well, because the way that the light sort of disperses across
What's
the
this video
clouds that
called,
are
Andrea?
there with it.
Strange light
It
on
looked real to
sky
me.
caught by a biker.
All right,
If you
David Box,
search
I'm
for-
sorry. I hackily talked over your explanation. What did you say at the end there?
I was saying that it seemed real to me, and that if it is fake, it's done really well.
Because of what?
But because of the way that the light was kind of, the way it disperses across the clouds, and the way that it like would hit one thing as it's passing. Yeah, it had a very organic look to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in the clouds, there are these balls, kind of like hail, that form that can be up to like 4 or 5 inches across, and they actually stay up there because of the pressure changes in the wind.
Yeah.
You would imagine they just fall down.
Did you see
and they
the
could
thing that
shine
we were
through
looking
them.
at here?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Okay,
and
yeah.
they have it on nih.gov. And they talk about the neurological, not neurological, I'm sorry. The,
Meteorological?
Neurological.
Neurological, yeah.
This
Of
shit's
why it
all
would
in your
happen.
head,
man.
And,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
it
a
just
fucking
seems
neurological spark just gets out of control.
It's a disorder. You just see stuff in the clouds. But yeah, I mean, they're just talking about how it's most likely just a random occurrence of light bending through. But as you said, this hasn't been documented before. Even they treat it as a possible newly recognized meteorological phenomenon.
Yeah.
That this has not been caught before.
So if you guys search for Crown Flash, you should be able to find this video of it.
I'm still all fucked up about sky swirls, honestly.
Yeah.
What are those?
I think about them once a day, for a minute. I go, what the fuck was that?
They're
And
like
I go, I gotta go
cartoonish
back to
portals.
work. I'm just just a working Joe. Can't be thinking about no sky swirls. Got a job to do, and then I forget about it. But it's like, I do think about it almost every day. If you look up Norwegian sky swirl, I think. But there was a bunch around the world.
Yes.
South America, there's a bunch of places, I think, and they're just these fucking portals opening in the sky, and then everybody's like, I guess we go back to life as usual.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about that? Like,
Well,
we
and
saw
that-
it was up there. The fuck do we do now?
Yeah, what are we supposed to do
That's
about
not
it?
it, right?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It'll look like, if you find the right video, okay, I want to see if you can find it, because we did this on the show when the show very first started. Me and the Earthling, the original co-host, did a good 15-20 minutes on how they were deleting the sky swirl videos from YouTube, and how we couldn't find them anymore. But we watched fucking a good 20 of them while they were on there, and it was people. Oh, there were some from the Middle East, I remember. A bunch of kids, in I don't know what city, but they, or what country, or have any fucking, nor do I have any nuanced education as to the people of the Middle East that would allow me to even narrow it down to, 1,000-mile radius. No fucking clue. But bunch of fucking kids with Aladdin clothes on, taking a video of sky swirls and whatever, dude. We saw a shitload of them. I'd be interested to see if you could even find any now. Sky swirl.
Yeah, I googled it. The only thing, videos are coming up of what you guys are talking about, but images, it's just the where they do the photography time lapse of how stars and the Earth circles around a point.
Oh
yeah, like the
And Van Gogh stuff.
Yeah.
I was able to find one. It's called Norway Swirl
That's
in
what
the
I'm talking
Sky
about, yeah.
UFO. Yeah,
There you
that's
Yeah, I'm watching that one right now.
Weird
Isn't that-
Tigers with 3 Z's.
David
you can find
Box.
that on their page.
Weird tigers with 3 Z's on YouTube's. Weird on YouTube's.
Also
Right,
with 3
wait.
Z's.
Type
God, am
that
I an
in.
idiot.
Weird tigers with what?
3 Z's.
3 Z's, David
Weird
Box.
Tigers.
That's
Weird
the channel
tigers.
it's on. But you could just look up the title
Yeah.
of the fucking video, stupid.
Norway Swirl in the Sky. This has 3 of the these are all on the same day, December 9th. And they are 3 different sky swirls that were all photographed or videoed. Yeah, they look cartoonish.
Dude, there's been a bunch of internet fucking mass erasings that have happened. Another was that, I swear to God, you can't find it anymore. It was a fleet of UFOs coming in over Manhattan that a bunch of people filmed. And the videos must be out there somewhere, but they're like wiped from searchable, easy to search engines and shit like that.
Really?
You know. Does anyone remember this?
I don't remember this. No. How recent was it?
Years ago.
Years ago. Okay. Because here's
8
something
years
from
ago, maybe.
Here's something from 2014.
Long time ago.
Here's what I always think about when we get on the subject of sky swirls and things that linger in the sky. There was a mass UFO sighting in Australia probably 8 or 9 years ago where a questionable object hung in the sky for like 36 hours. How do you go to work when there is a UFO in the sky? At what point do you say, okay, I'm done looking at this? You know? I feel like if there's a UFO, I'm gonna look at it until I can't look at it anymore. Right?
Yes.
Who stops looking at UFO to go to work? I mean, how do you possibly tear yourself away from something like that?
No, but I've seen people are that fucked up and they're that sucked into like, you know, day-to-day life where a life-changing event could be happening and they're like, well, you know, I can't be late. Like, I swear to God, I've seen that a few times in my life where you're watching something so nuts or you have this opportunity and somebody's like, no, you know, I got to go to work. Like, what?
Yeah.
I saw a light one time. I was in LaGrange, Illinois, and it was like 6:30 at night, and it was about somebody's saying they went to the link on our page. Hold on, and it just says it just sits.
What link?
I don't know. I hope it's the right link.
It just sits.
It just sits.
The link for the Ustream?
I'm asking. Hold on.
right.
Anyway, so I'm in LaGrange, Illinois. It's like 6:30, 7:30 at night. Oh, Lenny's got to go. Do you want to hear the end of my story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Take your time.
So then I'm standing there with like 5 or 6 people, and all of a sudden this light, similar to the other UFO that I saw in that same area in that same year, this white light starts just fucking perusing the sky for whatever. It just starts floating around. And it would look like a bright star. Honestly, it was like that quality of light. You would think it was a star unless you paid attention to it. And it starts zigzagging back around and moving across the sky at a pretty good rate. And me and a couple other people are like, whoa, look at that, dude. Holy shit, that's nuts. And I'm like, yeah, I just saw something similar a couple months ago. That's incredible. And 2 of the people go, it's a satellite. And I go, really? It's a satellite of which there are tens of thousands, supposedly, floating up in the atmosphere. And we don't ever witness anything like this. I've been sitting on the fucking ground looking for UFOs my whole fucking life, waiting for something to happen, seeing cool shit once in a while. You do see weird shit, definitely, but they're generally things that are falling, streaking,
burning.
They're not
So you'll
hovering
see
and
some
moving,
weird shit,
basically.
dude. I've seen a green comet fly through the atmosphere that looked crazy. It looked like a firework way the fuck up, you know?
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah, but I've never seen something slowly move back and forth around and it look like it's being controlled. I don't think a satellite does that.
Well-
and how are you supposed to see a satellite? Aren't they? I mean, they're like
They
the
have
size
no
of a
lights on
fucking.
them.
It's like the size of a bus from
Yeah.
thousands of
Right.
miles away.
And
Like,
they
what
have
the-
no lights. If you see a satellite,
They don't have lights. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and
you may see the sun's reflection from a satellite within a certain amount of sunrise or sunset.
yeah.
But other than that, you can't see a satellite in the sky. You
But
just
the
can't.
interesting thing was 2 of the people said it was a satellite and just kind of dismissed it. And everyone else except me just went along with that. That was like what they wanted to hear. They're like, oh, yeah, it's probably nothing. And they just went back to talking about fucking whatever people talk about. I'm always just...
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm always stoned and ignoring
Yeah.
whatever those conversations are. And I was the only one standing there 5 minutes later still looking at it going, guys, aren't you interested in this?
It's still happening.
And the one guy was so convincing in his like, nah, it's nothing. that became the prevailing view of the group.
Yeah.
It's nothing that you're...
What are you, stupid?
It's nothing that we all just saw and noticed was weird that we
Yeah.
don't normally see. That's nothing.
I'll bet that guy worked for the government.
So anyways, did that have another point that I was supposed to get to at some point?
I don't know.
Or whatever.
Oh,
Anyway.
I was talking about how do you go to work while you're looking at something
Yeah,
like that?
that's
How do
the
you?
thing, I guess, is you can see shit like that and just go, eh.
You can't
Nah.
sacrifice 5 minutes of conversation about Saturday Night Live to experience something that could be otherworldly.
Yeah, you just... Andrea, did you post the link again?
I will. Give
Um,
it another shot.
I mean, just before I go in is a segue to what you were talking about earlier. What you have when people see this stuff, how could you go to work or how could you not believe it? And it's quite interesting. I mean, science fiction writers write about it, but how would people react if it's fully legitimate? Like, let's say you get a full-on landing one day, like in certain movies, like was it Sector 9 or something like that? Like, how people would freak out. Absolutely. There's people whose entire construction of their reality and their beliefs and their systems and religions would just fall to shreds. I mean, you could imagine, like, how do they go about that being one question, and then secondly about the information.
Something that's easier to push off, that's the tendency. It's like,
yeah.
Why would that be real? Come on.
Why would they think about something that could utterly change, their entire look at the universe and the world? That there's something beyond the Earth, and who knows, maybe the human race can go back to searching space.
Do you think it's an accident that every person has been brainwashed to think that we should freak out when aliens come? Every movie that's ever been about aliens, there's a violent
It's a war.
There's an upheaval, there's a panic, there's chaos.
They've come to undo our way of life.
Exactly. It would be more dangerous.
The Galactic Society has decided we're not responsible with our nuclear technology. Every fucking movie and book.
Yeah.
As we've received word that they've been testing nuclear materials. Oh, well, I'll add them to our Galactic Brotherhood list. No, they're doing it on their own planet. David Box.
What?
Oh, you stupid. You're supposed to go.
Bum, bum, bum.
There you go.
Oh.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. That's good radio.
Terrible.
What does I finish up?
Hold on
you
a
were saying
second.
they
I have to
found
open this door real quick.
Go ahead.
There we go. Much better.
Please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
My point being that it's much more dangerous for the human race to embrace and accept alien visitors instead of fear them and want to fight them.
Sounds gay.
Which one?
I like that somebody else has sound effects now too.
Yeah.
I can fucking
It's much better.
Yeah.
You mentioned the sighting of what possibly could be a cluster of spaceships or something that is not a planet or something perhaps.
Oh yeah, our
fabricated.
alien megastructure, which we did talk about a little bit on on Sunday.
And I was wondering if that's confirmed. How do people react? How do religious institutions react? Like if something of that level, right, of otherworldly level becomes found and solid, right, and it becomes in the public eye, like it doesn't get masked up. How do certain institutions react to that? Like, what the hell are they going to say and do?
At this point, it's still very deniable. There's no proof yet. There's just very strong
if it happens,
speculation. Yeah,
like a giant ship just crashes and lands on the White House, and it's obviously alien.
Yeah, it's interesting because people who believe that humans were created in God's image usually won't accept the idea that there's other life out there.
There's some Christians out there that understand.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard
I think
Christians
there are some, yes.
acknowledge the extraterrestrial presence in the Old Testament.
I have a person that I
mainstream Christians. Well, maybe not main, but main for the alternative stream.
Yeah. I have an ex-coworker.
Lonnie, are you going?
I'm heading down.
All right,
okay.
say goodbye to us real quick.
Goodbye, everyone, and thank
Thanks-
you for having me. This was
thanks for
awesome
being
time.
here.
Thanks for
Great
coming,
job.
Lenny.
Great pleasure.
We'll see you soon.
Tell your friends about the show.
Absolutely. Do you have a
Loser.
your Facebook?
Yeah, I'll get you to it.
We'll get you all the info.
Have a
And
great
yeah, come back anytime.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, later, dude.
Lame-o.
I know.
Glad that nerd's out of here.
Holy shit.
Man, on and on and on about that movie.
I know. It was
Jesus.
just like, dude, you come in our show. You know, we like fucking, we let you be a part of things. We give you, we give you free reign to say whatever you want. And you're just with the movie, just
this
on
is where
and
you
on.
go.
And
But he's Jewish.
And I'm not saying this just to say it. I had no idea what that metaphor was about.
I was all like, oh, I fucked it up. Here. There you go. That's what I was like.
You know what I was like? Really? You want to fuck with me?
Be careful, mister. She's liable to bite your head off.
What'd that mean?
Awesome.
Do you think it's right?
No, I sure don't.
All right, you really want to fuck with me?
I can keep going if you want me to.
Here. Here's what you get. That's what you get.
Listen here.
Do it. Listen to that. That's what you fucking get. You want to have a sound effects battle?
Answer it.
Yeah. David Box. Answer the phone, David Box.
Why don't you pick it up?
Answer the phone. Answer the phone.
Why don't you pick it up, David Box?
Answer the phone.
Hello?
No, pick it up.
Oh,
Pick
I
it up.
did.
No, you why would it
Hello?
still be? How could it still be ringing if you picked it up? Don't you even know how a phone works,
Just
David
pick up
Box?
the phone.
Don't you even know how a phone works? Pick
It's
it
just
up.
too loud in here. What?
I said pick up the phone.
What?
Dave.
Pick up the
I'm
fuck.
sorry. I'm just having too much fun.
All his glow bracelets are fucking getting in the way.
Yeah.
He can't open his hand up to pick the phone up.
He's just pumping both fists above his head.
This is just unlistenable. David Box, pick up the phone.
It's unlistenable.
Whoa.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
We're actually just about to take a break.
And we already talked about the eye patch, okay?
Well, but okay, we can talk about it on the break then.
Yeah, we're going to come right back. We just did a really riveting little...
Yeah.
You should... Wait, Mark,
But
put
you
your
look like a pirate with the hair and the eye patch.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm going for.
That's a really unique
Well,
observation.
yeah, Halloween's coming up pretty quickly.
This is our friend Mark just joining the show. Mark's an old radio pro from back in the days when you weren't allowed to fucking say cunt, shit, fuck, nigger, anything.
Kill the president.
Kill the
See,
president.
I'm still
I'm
reluctant.
gonna kill the
I'm still
president.
reluctant to say
Not allowed to
nigger on
say
the
it.
microphone.
Still can't say that. Uh-oh. Shit.
You didn't seem reluctant.
Hold on. We got somebody else joining the conversation via telephone. Hello. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. Hello.
Oh.
Hey, who's this?
All right. Hello?
Hello?
Come on.
Hi.
Get it together.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll fix your goose.
Yeah, it's me, your old buddy Mark. You fucking idiot.
You're not Mark. I know Mark's in the studio. I didn't think you were Mark. Who is this?
Oh, thanks for introducing me. Like, who does he think?
No,
so?
you
What
have
are
to
guys
tell us
doing
who
there
you
with
are.
the,
How are we supposed
sound
to know?
effects
Who
there,
is this
guys?
guy?
This is the United States of America, and we can do as we please.
Well, it's not necessarily true, but I guess sound effects. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
What the hell is this?
Did you not like that?
Sounds like he's been
No,
drinking.
I loved it. It was enthralling. I was hoping. I was thinking it's probably more visually stimulating, actually.
It's probably a
to
lot
watch
more.
you two go back and forth, pushing buttons.
It's probably a lot more fun to do than it is to listen to.
Trust me.
Yeah,
It is
I
a
was
lot more
imagining
visually.
You guys both like very, very narrow-eyed, staring at each other and just hitting buttons. And I left my imagination.
Well, it is a lot more visually stimulating if you can see Andrea's eye patch and 7 colored hair.
Beautiful.
Not an exaggeration.
It was like
I'm sure it's lovely.
It was a really half-assed version of Spy versus Spy, where we just play shitty sounds at each other and nobody ever does anything slick.
Yeah, I was
A
waiting
bunch
for
of
something,
shit.
but yeah.
Hey, can I ask you something?
You can ask me anything. My life is an open book.
This is Tom in Elmhurst. Hold on. Are you in Elmhurst?
Good old Elmhurst
Okay.
of the Illinois faction.
Check this
of the
out.
Yankees.
Let me ask you something.
What
What's
is
up?
it about black people that you don't like?
I don't know. There's so many things.
It's hard to put your finger on it.
Wow,
It's
a pretty
like
long list, isn't it?
the words in his mouth are like a bunch of people rushing out of a Whitesnake concert. They're just all fucking getting stuck at the door and trampled.
It's a poignant question.
So what's going on? I know you always got opinions on things. What do you think about
I hate
this?
opinions.
What do you think?
Oh, wait, that's an opinion. Fuck.
You really hung yourself out to dry. What's
Don't you have a sound effect for that? Come on.
Who are you voting for?
Clean it up. Voting for?
Yeah.
I'll probably write you in. I don't know.
Trump.
Thank you. Here's another question.
You know I don't take part in the phony electoral process bullshit.
Right, you're more on our side. I know. But here's a question.
You know where Nigger Town is? Yes.
Uh-huh. See? Si, senor.
You know what?
Senor, I know where
You
Nigger
called-
Town is.
You called right when we were about to take a break. Do you want to either hang on or call us back in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, yeah, we gotta go smoke and do some shit really quick. You can just hang on the line and we'll be back in a few minutes.
I have to go smoke too.
All right.
So I'll call back in a little bit when you guys get it together.
Do what you gotta do. No, we're gonna be pretty much doing the same shit. So,
So be prepared for that.
yeah, it's not going anywhere now. After we get into like pretty much anyone who's gonna turn the show off has done it by now, I would think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now
This
we're
is our sweet spot.
yeah,
So it's
now
just us.
right. Now we're in our wheelhouse. Exactly.
It's just
Yeah.
the 5 of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. That's good radio.
The 4 of us and one other listener we haven't identified yet.
Where's all my shit? Where the
Yeah,
fuck
he's
is
Tom
my
from
shit?
Elmhurst, remember?
Yes.
Probably someone
I
in
She's
the
remember.
White
a
House.
radio pro.
Where the fuck is David Box?
I'm
He's on the
inside your
phone.
mind.
Wow, you're in my ear. It's creeping me out.
Yeah, he's being a piece of shit.
Ew.
Well, I
No,
would.
David
All
Box
right, well, you
can't
guys go
leave
take
the
a break. I'm
apartment.
going to go smoke and I'm going to do stuff.
All right.
And I'll
All
call
right,
back.
I'm gonna go take a dump.
Yeah, call us back though. I want to talk to you about a couple things.
All right, man.
All right, goodbye now.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, back in a few minutes on the Overdose Talk Show. If you stuck with us this far, I don't have to say thank you. You're one of us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
welcome. I have to say you're welcome.
Thank you to both of you.
We'll be back. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Our music sounds all fucked up here. I got something wrong. Oh, hold on. Let me turn you back up. There you go, Mark. You're here.
I said, what's up with that?
I don't know, dude. I got one side of the music out or something. That's not what that's supposed to sound like. This music is all much better than it just sounded.
It sounded a little off.
Yeah.
And I'm an old white guy.
Did you notice that, Andrea, while I was outside smoking? You
no.
should have.
Yes. But
Well,
I did notice it.
How did she notice that when she wasn't here?
She was here. What are you talking about? She was
I wasn't
fucking
here.
controlling the music.
She was checked out.
David Box, you back?
David Box is taking the dog outside, but he will be back.
Roof.
All right. Where were we at?
Monsanto.
Is that what you came here
I'm
to
reading
talk
that.
about?
No, I'm reading that on the back of his computer. Kill Monsanto.
My Kill Monsanto stickers. You know, when I go on tour with Robot Hilarious, I sell more Kill Monsanto stickers than any other piece of merchandise.
Really?
Yeah, some places I'll go, especially in like
the rural areas.
Not even, but just areas that are tied to agriculture more. Like, yeah, kind of, but like I'm thinking of like Knoxville, Asheville.
Yeah, and those places are their economies are very tied to the agriculture.
Nashville, places like that. And not only that, a lot of the kids that live in the cities there, they're from rural areas.
Right.
You know, and they have So I was in Knoxville and sold a shitload of the Kill Monsanto stickers.
What do you get for them? $2?
No, I sell them for like fucking $2 for $1.
Oh, I'd go $1 a piece.
Yeah, well,
dial it up.
People will pay.
You've got to pay for your gas.
No, I know. I know what I got to do.
I know you do.
But
I'm just a consummate sales guy. Sell more. Charge more.
It's amazing. It's amazing that like everywhere you go, like people are resonating with that. Like Kill Monsanto. Hell yeah, I never thought of that. Give me one. Give me one of those. I'm gonna stick them up on the bus. People are always, telling me where they're gonna put them. Like, just give me $1.
Well, and I didn't get it the first time, and then I saw some documentary. It was a Vice documentary on Monsanto and on industrial farming, and what industrial farming is doing to the world.
Yeah.
It's scary stuff.
I haven't seen the Vice thing. Is it pretty compelling?
It is scary. I mean,
they usually make a good documentary.
It scared the shit out of me.
They do a good job of just explaining it in a way that you can't get around and deny.
Right.
It's very matter of fact. Here are the facts. This is what's happening, and then they take you to the spot and they show you these growth fields of corn, and they talk to the farmers, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, I want to pay 7 times more for all organic vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that's what it costs, is like 6 or 7 times more.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Depends on the vegetables.
It's like 20% more.
It's actually more than, for the rotting ones, but for the good ones, it's double.
An organic cucumber is at least 3 times more expensive than a regular cucumber.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Usually you get a regular cucumber like 79 cents. You're paying $3 for an organic cucumber.
Out of here.
Yeah.
No,
what's even harder to find is organic corn. Can't find it. Doesn't exist.
Really?
Can't find it.
Well, and there are I did read something that there are certain vegetables and fruits that you don't want to buy organic. Organic bananas are no different than regular bananas.
They're tougher.
And organic oranges are not that different than regular oranges.
Basically, things you don't eat the outside of.
Well, if there's a heavy, thick skin, buy the regular one. If there's like lettuce, you want to buy organic. Cucumbers, apples, those, it's more important to buy organic. If it's got a thin skin or no skin at all, that's when you want to buy organic.
If it's got a thin skin or no skin at all, he won't survive in talk radio.
Yeah. We'll eat you alive, literally.
Yes. And if it's got a thick skin, chances are he's been heartbroken, betrayed.
Haven't we all?
Made to feel like less than a man. You know what I mean? That's how you get a thick skin.
Wait, I thought that's how you get a thin skin.
No, it's... Wait a
second.
second.
That's what happens when you have a thin skin.
And then you get a thick one.
And then it thickens up.
Calluses up. And then you just walk around and you just die.
Wow, I really like this music choice, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Really setting the tone.
This is when I get sad and I'm also Pocahontas.
Yeah. You're sad on a canoe.
I'm sad.
I was just going to say, do you need a hug? But apparently not.
No, Mark. No, I need a time machine. I need to make better choices so that I wouldn't put myself in the position to be hurt so badly.
On a canoe.
On a canoe.
Yeah, in the ass. Sorry, dude.
By a dark-skinned girl with pointy features
And
rowing down the Potawatomi.
Yeah.
Is that a river or is that a tribe? No, it's a casino.
Maybe both.
That's a casino.
That's all of those.
It's just a casino now.
Yeah.
And isn't that a perfect metaphor for what the indigenous peoples of this continent have been reduced to? They're nothing but casinos and caricatures in our eyes.
Well,
Disney movies.
The fact of the matter is they're living in big houses because they're making a shitload of money.
Heaping big houses.
Heaping big houses. Heaping big teepees.
Yeah.
With AC and
Fuck,
central
with that
air.
casino money, you could afford a wigwam damn near.
God damn. And a sweat lodge.
Yeah. A sweat lodge. That sounds fucking good, actually. I would like to try that sometime.
Yeah, I was just thinking as I said that, I could use
Why
a
am
good
I
sweat
making
lodge.
fun of this? Yeah, I need that shit.
Those things seem scary to me.
Why?
Sweat lodge.
Because she's a dame.
Because I'm a dame. Because I'm gentle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your hair color would wash out.
Well, what do you go? Well, first of all, I don't like being sweaty.
Wait, why have I not made fun of you more tonight? You've got 7 colors in your hair and an eye patch on.
Yeah,
I know.
You haven't said anything.
What kind of fucking person am I?
This was the obvious 800-pound gorilla in the room when I came in,
Fucking-
or the pink elephant. I don't know.
Fucking Long John Rainbow over here.
When we were-
Exactly. Can we take a picture of her and put it on the website?
We'll
Come
have it.
on.
We'll have it on the for the cover picture for this episode.
I'm used to being this person too. It takes me a second to remember that like I look weird now. And when we were in and out of the hospital the other day, one of the nurses, when we came back the second time, one of the nurses remembered us, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I talked to you guys when you were here earlier." And for a second, I was like, "Wow, I can't believe she remembered us. She must have told us so many people today."
You're the only person with
Like,
7
wait a
colored
minute.
hair.
I'm a person with a rainbow hair and an eye patch. And I'm not the patient.
Oh, you weren't the patient?
No.
No, you were just the bystander.
No, yeah, I was just
Wait, what happened to David Boggs? Did he get hurt?
he had a headache. Listen to the beginning of the show.
He had a fucking headache. He's a pussy. he had a fucking...
you.
No.
Oh, he's back.
I love David Boggs, but
Oh, I got bit by a little bug in the woods. I went to the ICU. I gotta go to the ICU. I don't like the food they serve me.
Well,
I can't smoke enough weed here.
Yeah, I know. That was my main complaint about the hospital is they don't like it when you get high in the bathroom. But
wait, they don't?
No, they hate that shit. But
what about in Colorado and Washington, where it's legal? Can
I
you
don't
get
know.
high in the bathroom?
No,
Well,
you're
probably
not
get
allowed
just-
to get high in public places unless it's specifically
Yeah, but isn't the
allowed.
bathroom a private place?
No.
So
No, but
Not a
everybody does it
public
anyway.
bathroom.
right. No, I'm coming out of the
Penis?
No, penis. No, I'm coming off the train from
Coming out of the-
Lombard a half an hour ago, and I'm going down the long tunnel, and there's this old lady behind me, and she's like, "What's that smell? It smells like a skunk." And I looked at her, and I'm like, "That's not a skunk." And there's these 2 young kids smoking weed down at the end of the hallway or the end of the tunnel.
it was 1972.
Yeah.
No, it was.
What is that smell?
Yeah, it smells like a skunk.
A mattress is on fire.
What the fuck is wrong with you kids? Smoking that wacky weed.
Yeah, technically, no, it's not legal to smoke in a hospital in
No, of course not.
Colorado.
What the fuck are we talking
but,
about?
Well, what if you have? What if you're going through chemo?
What
Chemo
if?
is different than weed.
No. But if you're going through
No, same
chemotherapy, all right, let's get
Same
Greg
shit.
on the phone because if you're going through chemotherapy, the one thing that will really help you out is getting high.
Yeah, but you have to do it in the privacy of your own home.
Mm-hmm. It's shameful.
It's shameful. It should be
Yeah.
hidden.
Yes.
Think of the children.
Mark, and you don't want to set a bad example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my
By
middle
having
fucking name.
cancer.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
set a
there's
bad
David.
example by having cancer.
I know.
I have cancer. I'm such a bad example.
That's what people never fucking bring up is the fucking burden and just the poor example these people are setting for the next generation. Hey, I just got a fucking tumor growing on my spleen. Oh, yeah. Why don't we
Sorry.
all crowd around you like you're a fucking national hero and try to save you? You're a fucking asshole. That's what you are.
All right.
Weak.
You and your goddamn cancer.
Andrea, Vinny, I'd like to ask you a favor.
What?
If I get cancer, just buy a
Take you
gun.
out back and shoot you.
Yes, please.
Do you want to get high first?
Oh,
Do you need to
I
have
want
cancer?
I want to get fucking baked.
Yeah. What are the other circumstances in which we're allowed to do
Would
this?
it be cool if
Well, no,
while you're
just cancer.
Would it be cool if while you're paralyzed, we lift your dick up and piss on your balls?
No, that wouldn't be cool.
All right.
No, no. If you want to suck my balls, that's one thing, but piss on them, no.
While you're paralyzed?
Yeah.
If David Box pisses on him first, I might not
Well,
be able
you know
to
what?
resist.
If I'm paralyzed, it
You know
probably
I'm going to
doesn't.
get piss on those balls, too.
Yeah, David, paybacks
I've
are
got
a bitch.
heat-seeking piss.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
soak a washcloth in piss and just wrap your balls in it and hold them there while you're
All right.
paralyzed.
You should tie that cloth across his scrotum until it turns all blue and shit.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna.
He's not going to feel it. He's paralyzed.
And then on Ash Wednesday,
I am not fucking paralyzed.
You will
and
be
I know
after
where you
we
live.
take you out back and shoot you.
you
That's
will
the
be.
point.
You will be before
That's
we
after
are.
I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
You will be before we are.
Oh my god.
And we are gonna fuck you up.
I asked you for a little bit of kindness to fucking pull the trigger, and now you're pissing on my balls and cutting them off and
No.
This is what you get.
feeding them to Dexter. God only knows.
And
We're doing you a favor.
On
No.
Ash Wednesday, we're gonna make like a carnival game where we put a cross on your forehead and take turns trying to piss it off from behind it, like from behind a counter. Like we're gonna set you up like a clown that you shoot a water gun into and you blow the balloon up on top of its head or whatever. You know, we're just gonna put a cross on your forehead and piss on it.
Yeah, this is why I need new friends.
Try and find a friend who would do these kinds of things for you.
Yeah, really, this is intimate.
I should be so lucky, right?
Yeah.
This is intimate
Right.
shit. So Mark's an old radio guy. I thought he could give us some advice on radio shows and what it's like to be in the biz.
Yeah, we're looking for some pointers.
What was your experience again in was it Kalamazoo or Grand Rapids?
Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo.
I spent 5 years on the radio in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And it definitely changed my life. It got me
We're talking 90s, right? Or 80s?
Well, it started it was in the 80s. 1981, I went to college in Western Michigan, and I ended up on the radio. And Kate McClanahan took me under her wing.
Who is that?
She's actually a famous voice actor now. You've heard her. She does a lot of commercials.
What's the last name?
McClanahan. McClan whatever.
Got it.
Kate. She encouraged me. She saw some potential in me.
To do what?
To speak on the microphone, to speak on the air, to actually have an opinion and play good music, which is what I did. And then that turned into me becoming the fundraising director, and then I became the music director. And that's where I had my real impact. Because at the time I became music director, they were being serviced by a dozen record companies. It was RCA, Arista, it was all the big fucking asshole bullshit commercial record companies. And I started sending out playlists and encouraging people to play music that was outside of the mainstream.
So you're kind of responsible for the history of music as we know it.
No. I'm not responsible for anything. Don't put words in my mouth.
Other than a few sexual harassment lawsuits, probably.
No, not yet. Fingers crossed, none yet. But no, and then I embraced the radio thing, and we were playing a lot of punk rock. We were playing a lot of different music, and I found my voice, and it was a lot of fun. And I became and
wait, this voice?
Yeah, no, that voice. Well, exactly. And I became Out of Hand Callahan, and my Friday afternoon show became the Party with Out of Hand show, and we were actually pushing 5-6% numbers on the Arbitron ratings, which was like unheard of for a college station to do that.
Radio history.
And in the summer, we would do concerts behind the studio. And when we started, well, they had been doing those for years, but when I took over, there would be 100, 150 people there. And we started getting bigger and bigger bands in, and the next thing I know, there were 500, 600 kids there, and it was a lot of fun. That's it.
We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem.
And that was a random sample. Oh, Vinny's snorting.
Yeah, so you know it was really funny.
Yeah. Snorting at a sample he's heard 100 times already.
It's funny.
We are going to exterminate white people.
What is that from?
I don't know. What was it like back then? Could you actually smoke weed in a radio station?
Well, we did, but it was definitely not allowed.
Yeah,
you usually
it was
would
illegal.
go. We would usually go into the production studio and smoke weed. If it was cold, and if it was warm, we'd go out back because the back door was right there.
And did any whores used to just hang around and
radio groupies?
Yeah, radio groupies. That was a thing back then.
There were a few.
Yeah,
there were a few.
What kind of shit would go down?
What am I allowed to say?
Pederast.
Everything. What are you talking about?
Have you ever heard our show?
Yeah.
Fuck you, David Box.
I talk
not
about
a pederast.
I routinely talk about
She was 18. I'm certain of it.
I routinely talk about fist fucking.
Save it for the deposition,
Fist fucking.
man.
What an idiot. I routinely talk about fist fucking Hillary Clinton in the mouth. You can pretty much say anything.
Well, by year 3, there were a few groupies that would hang around. There was the occasional regular blowjob.
On air.
Yeah.
So you're getting blown on air while you're changing records. Were you doing records back then?
Oh, it was all vinyl.
Wow.
I mean, this is the 80s.
Well, how often would a record skip though while you were playing it on air?
Well, if a record skipped, you'd take it out of service. So not that often. Less often than you would think.
I've heard it happen with CDs in my lifetime where you're listening to some shitty radio station and it's just and the guy comes back
the
like,
guy's out smoking pot.
So sorry about that.
I guess we have a little I guess there was a little scratch on that.
Jesus, I guess I should have wiped the semen off that disc.
Yeah. That was
Now
Sorry,
you got
Andrew.
it.
That was our cum CD. That's the
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, I should have put that away before we had sex.
What's the game that we always talked about where the guys would all come on a cracker?
The cracker.
Yeah,
the cracker game.
Cracker
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they were doing with the CDs.
That sounds disgusting.
That's what they would do with the CDs, except they would all just cum on it and then shove it in the CD player, and then all the cum would ooze down the side of the CD player, and they'd all just get stoned.
It
and
would like
laugh.
squeeze out as the tray closed.
It was
a
like
little bit too.
It was like a lava lamp. I need the poor man's lava lamp. You come on a CD and just shove it in the tray.
Oh my God, I need to go shower. Seriously, I need to go shower.
Nah, you're fine. Relax.
I at least need to wash my hands.
Relax. It's the poor man's lava lamp.
Yeah.
But you would be
Dude,
surprised.
Like you've never been there.
Yeah.
You would be surprised at how many under the board blowjobs happened. Not just me, it was other people.
Wait a second. Did you ever work at a radio station run by an Indian couple?
No.
No, wait. I think you did, though. I think you did.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
No, I
Unless
think
I
there
blacked
was
out that
a
3-year
time.
period.
Then they weren't too happy, if I remember right.
Howdahan Callahan, how could you not remember working for us? You had a contract and you broke your contract. You owe us $20,000. With
Mark Callahan, you were
with
the last
interest.
person to jizz on that cracker. So now you must eat the cracker with all of the jizz on it.
That is not enough. You must do more. You must eat more cum than that.
And then we are going to tie your balls off with a wet rag and piss on them.
You may reconcile part of your debt in exchange for one cum volcano headstand.
I was just going to say, I vouch for this guy. There's got to be a way he can get out of it.
No, that's the only way.
It's a
also, he still has to pay most of it.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you.
That is worth $1,000 per keg volcano keg stand.
Explain to him what that is. A keg volcano headstand. I don't
Cum
think
volcano keg stand.
Fuck. Cum volcano headstand. Sorry. Yeah, that's when you come into a paper mache volcano for months.
Well, it could be made of Play-Doh or paper mache. Paper mache might be tough if you're saving for months.
Right.
It will dissolve. Yeah. However, if you get bakeable clay that you can fire and harden, some kind of waterproof receptacle, Play-Doh. If you leave Play-Doh out for a little while and let it dry, it will not absorb the cum.
And then you just do a headstand over it. And
Well,
you add
first
baking
you have
soda.
to add the baking soda and the vinegar.
Right.
You put the vinegar in there, and then you must do a
And you can
keg
just-
stand very, very quickly.
You can actually just squeegee the vinegar off your balls if it's been a long enough day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, don't get it on the head of your dick because that will stink.
Just and then you
Just saying.
you put your mouth over the hole of the volcano, and the vinegar will do the work.
This is what you must do for soiling our daughter's flower, her mouth flower underneath your audio mixing board.
You think we do not know what you did? But she is
not
honorable.
one of these groupies that you speak of.
She's a good girl. She came clean, and we will not be made fools of. You had a contract. You broke your contract.
I have to tell you, your daughter is a cum slut.
You will not deflower her mouth flower anymore.
She is a cum dump. I am not the only one.
Not like you are about to be.
That's if you want to keep your job.
If you would like to stay out of court,
Yeah.
we will sue you. You
For
had
what?
a contract. You broke your contract.
For
We had a
breach of
contract.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
had a contract.
That makes sense.
We had a $20,000 contract which you broke.
Well, I haven't gotten paid.
No, we have not gotten paid.
But why would you get paid? I was the one to get paid.
I feel like you did not read the contract.
And you've never dealt with Indians before.
Yeah, I'm done with this conversation.
Okay, just pay us $10,000 and one cum volcano keg stand, and we will call it even.
Okay, the check
And
is
then
in
you
the
must
mail.
write a formal apology to our beautiful daughter for the things that she did under your audio mixing board.
What's her name? What's her daughter's name?
She sucks dick like nobody's business.
What's her daughter's name?
Cum dump.
What's her name?
Cum dump.
Deepa Deepti Deshpande Sultan.
Oh, Deepa. Our beautiful Deepti.
I think we're talking about
Named
a
for,
different
named for her
DPY under
brother,
the audio
her
mixing board.
grandmother.
DPY.
Deepa.
Hold on, Deepa Deepti? That doesn't sound like a real name. Is that a real name in India?
No.
She is named for her grandmother, who was a beautiful woman and a saint. You will not speak ill of Deepa Diti.
Saint, is that the kind of language they use in India?
Cum dump.
You will not speak of her that way.
So you use Christian
you will be the cum
terminology?
dump.
Your beautiful mouth flower.
She has been
Our
deflowered.
beautiful daughter.
I don't understand. Would there be a better way that her mouth flower could be
With the boy doctor which we have assigned for her.
And
he is very wealthy,
And what-
unlike some people.
what's his name?
Cum dump.
Shut up. What's his name?
His name is Prashante Muhinder Dishglindistan.
Wow. He sounds like a doctor.
He goes to make it easier. He just goes by Dr. Ramamurthy.
Does he have a Russian grandfather or something?
Ramamirthy. No, it's very difficult coming up with these names on the spot. While imagining your daughter's mouth flower being defiled by a micro penis under an audio mixing board.
Hey. It is not a micro penis.
How do
That
we
is not
know
what our
unless you
daughter
That is
show
not
us?
what she told us.
Show
Yeah, well.
us. Show us. Show
Show
us.
us your
show
penis.
us.
Deeply said that you couldn't get very deep.
Oh. Deep Peep. What was her name? Deep Peepee?
She's a little worn
Deep.
out. And
Deep
Deepti.
Yeah.
Deepti, our beautiful daughter.
The problem,
Deepti.
David, you have to understand the problem with a cum dump is that she's had so much cock in her young life that she needs like 12 inches to really satisfy her. So
I'm sorry, Mark, I could not hear you over the sound of my piss on your forehead with
Yeah,
the
and,
ashes.
you know, and my cock in your daughter's mouth.
Damn. Holy shit. Poor Deep Deep.
All right. Let's
Deep DY.
Man, the old days of radio. Things sure were different.
They really were.
Yeah, you used to have to pay Indians to be on the radio.
It's like a
Well, and
culture
the
shock.
funny thing is that you can say anything now, and I'm still getting used to this.
Yeah, well, nobody gives a fuck.
You sure said cum dump an awful lot of times.
He's just because
I'm adaptable.
But he was saying cum dump in the way that you wade into a lake that's too cold. Just cum dump.
Yeah, you're right about that. It felt oddly unnatural.
It's cum dump past my knee. Okay, that's okay. But when cum dump gets up to my crotch level, that's the point of no return. Then I got to go in.
Yeah.
Then you dive in head first.
Dive into the cum dump. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God.
We have a call.
We stimulated a little conversation.
Take
with
that fucking call.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want you guys to know that nothing about what you're doing right now is entertaining. This is like the most horrible thing that has ever happened.
Why? What's wrong with
Wow. So this must be your prude sister, Katie.
What do you mean, what's wrong with it? First of all, Barry and David Box are doing impressions of Indian people poorly for some reason.
Actually, I think I thought it was
Mark's
pretty good.
saying a couple of words that I shan't repeat because I'm a lady.
No,
but
you're
I do
not.
not. I just thought it's just distasteful.
It's internet radio, honey.
It's
We'll go back to what we usually do.
Maybe you need to taste a cum volcano.
Keg stand.
Oh fuck! Wait. Maybe you just need to taste a cum volcano, and you'll understand because there's a lot of flavor here.
Oh,
Katie, you can make it out of anything.
Yeah, you could. You don't have to use cum.
No, mayonnaise works just fine.
You just call it cum, and it is.
Yeah, mayonnaise is great.
What's wrong with you?
why would I waste that much
Mark.
mayonnaise?
Well, mayonnaise is cheap.
This is horrible.
Mark loves some mayonnaise.
No, I really don't.
Mark used to get blown under the console where he did radio.
Yeah, this
okay?
was like 1980.
We're getting into
And you're mad about our Indian accents?
Yeah, really. We're getting into some real shit here. This is how radio works. We're dissecting the industry.
He's like the Bill Clinton of radio.
No, I was single. She was single. Nobody got hurt in the process.
Yeah.
Except for Deep D.
So, I mean, if I were Bill
Except our
Clinton,
lovely daughter, Deep D.
well, I
Deep
didn't
DY.
fuck Deep. No, I didn't fuck
Wait,
Deep
I
Deep,
think
and
what's
there
going
is
on
no
here,
Deep Deep.
I think
All
what's
right.
going on here is she actually does want to be offended, but she can't work up the moral outrage. she just doesn't have it in her.
Is that all you got?
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
yeah, no, she's got it.
Hold
she's
on. What do you got? I mean, are you morally opposed to
I am actually morally outraged right now. outraged.
Was it?
outraged. And you're lucky. You are lucky that there aren't any elderly people or children around when I'm listening to this. Because I had to turn it off.
You're lucky you don't have any elderly people or children around because I'll rape all of them.
Oh, for crying out loud. All right.
Well, I've got to say,
That's
Katie, I got to say, you sound like an elderly person.
Yeah, you sound like an old...
like an elderly
You
child.
know what? I mean, maybe you should just go check yourself into your grandmother's nursing home. Because, I mean, that's kind of the attitude you have.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Why don't you go live with your own grandma and you guys start setting up paper mache volcanoes, and we'll all be by later to fill them up, bitch.
With mayonnaise.
Okay, that was funny, but the rest of it is not funny. That part was
Oh, yeah. So, selectively funny. I get it.
yeah. The rest of it is not funny,
No.
especially you, Callahan.
What the fuck do you know, Miko?
The Indian thing. Mark's here he's here to present another angle. None of us have ever actually worked in radio. He's here to give us advice. Don't you understand that? Aren't you getting it?
What is the advice, though? The advice is to get blowjobs from women while you're on the air?
Every fucking chance you can get.
That sounds like success
I
to
mean,
me.
of course.
With your
Hey,
sister in
David Box, listen, you're attached, but if you were single, would it not be the most important thing to get a blowjob every fucking chance you could every time you're on the radio?
Mark, you're breaking up. Sorry.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're
Yeah,
a square.
also a creepy thing to say considering usually the only female here is the host's sister.
Ah, fuck.
All right, well, that's all I got for you. I'm offended, and I'm actually going to turn the program off because of how offended I am.
That's fine. Turn us off. We don't care. No one. I mean, what are we going to go from 5 to 4 listeners? Fuck off.
Yeah.
No fucking prudes allowed, asshole.
I like how that my logic there was totally backwards. Like, what are we going to lose 20% of our audience? Fuck you. We suck.
We're going to suck even
Can't
more.
hurt us.
We don't
All right,
care.
goodbye.
The only one who's listening is the government at this point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
They're always meddling in my biz.
Oh, no, they're paying attention to you.
You think so?
Yeah. They want
But
They've
even
got
they're
a-
like, ugh. this
They've
is
got an
stupid.
algorithm on us trying to pick up
They're
times when
trying.
people say kill
Oh,
the
yeah.
president.
The government is trying to fucking to eavesdrop on our show, and they just can't.
They can't
take it.
handle
They're just,
it,
It's
yeah.
just unlistenable. Just fucking, we can't do this.
It's just a bunch of children.
Why do we need to spy on these fucking junior high kids who have somehow drank themselves into old age already?
Jensen, you got to
happening?
come do this for 20 minutes. I need a break, man.
Yeah, dude.
Just because they have professional equipment doesn't make them meaningful.
Us?
Wow, sorry.
Wait, I like that David Box has real sound effects and makes them with his mouth.
That was priceless.
I'm laying on the couch now with 2 cats and a dog.
Yeah, are you
And the mic is pointed straight down over my mouth.
Yeah. Oh.
Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds great.
Keep your clothes on.
Straight down on my mouth.
Sounds nice.
The microphone.
No, it sounds really nice.
Yeah.
You guys, there were a bunch of other
He's putting
UFO
gravy-
sightings this week.
He's putting gravy on his penis.
I'm greasing up my glistening body with
Oh,
the
yeah.
animals.
Look what you have to look forward to, Andrea.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I want to
got
talk
the
about
heat
more
on.
UFOs. I feel like we were on a good sky thing for a while. No, am I the only one?
Like
What? Oh, there's more UFO
I
stuff.
thought we kind of played that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that
that's-
was a bad way to go from there.
All right.
I was really
well,
trusting you to
where
move the
would
show
you like
along.
to go?
Oh, fuck you, dude. You've got all the shit in front of you.
How about conspiracy theory?
Okay. Really provocative.
in general.
There you go.
Come on, no, pick one. I mean, I know you guys love this, so you know.
No, we've got all kinds of shit here, Andrew. You didn't have to go back to UFOs. You could have gone to something else. You know, that was bad. All
right.
That was really bad what you did.
What do you want to do?
Fuck this. I'm getting a beer.
You have everything in front of you that I do. How about
Yeah.
the church that came out of a river this week?
What is it?
Yeah, where was that thing?
In Mexico, there was a river that has receded so far because of the drought that they're experiencing down there. It's a 16th century church, and it has emerged from a river.
Stop making that noise, David Box.
I'm not even plugged in. I don't think it's me.
What is that shit?
It's coming from you somewhere. No one else is plugged in.
No, everything's down here. Maybe it wasn't. All right.
All right.
So what happened?
Dude,
So
that picture's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's-
what happened? Can
it's
you
a
put
big,
it on that
it's
monitor?
it's a big stone church. You'd have to come around here. You can grab your mic off the stand if you want. But this church just came out of the what river in Mexico?
the Grijalva,
Mhm.
Grijalva, and it's in Chiapas, Mexico.
Why is it underwater?
And this is the Mexican Temple of Santiago. It is a 16th century stone church that was buried underwater, drowned,
Why?
when they built a dam,
Oh.
and the area got flooded many,
Well.
many years ago. But
So is it completely underwater now?
How long has
Yeah.
it been under there, Andrea?
the 1966, it's been underwater since 1966. It has appeared one time since then.
Boo! Boo! Pick something else. Boo!
Yeah, this is pretty weak.
Boo!
Not
Boo!
Not your best story.
Shitty story. Boo!
Jeez.
Who cares?
We'd like something with drugs and politicians and hookers.
Come on, Andrea.
I feel like that's all we've been doing all show already, though.
No, come on, let's get into something a little more political.
How about the Chicago mayor has
Plus,
blamed...
you're supposed to be listening to Mark. He's a real radio guy. This is where we're getting our training today.
All right, I've got politics for you. Mayor Rahm Emanuel, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, has said that cell phone video recordings of police officers are interfering with the officers' ability to do their jobs, and that's why murder numbers are rising for Chicago.
Okay, wait. I want to jump in on this. I like this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because the cops are shooting and raping black people all over the city.
You mean all people?
Well, all people, but
Okay.
especially black people. I think
Their lives especially matter.
No. I think
No,
all
we know.
lives
We know
all
what you're
lives
getting at.
matter. Obviously, all
No,
lives
they
matter.
don't. Not cops' lives.
Not cop lives.
Well, they matter especially, but because they're
black
special.
people.
No, but I think
Jews.
that how is it? That statement is. I'm really surprised by that statement.
Why? What would surprise you about Rahm Emanuel making an absolute fucking like fascist statement like that? What? I don't understand how that would be surprising.
If the cops are behaving badly, shouldn't the mayor of Chicago support any evidence that comes forward to support? Here are a bunch of fucking assholes behaving badly.
That's if you believe he works for the people. He doesn't. They all work in tandem together as an organized crime ring to extort the fucking populace to their own benefit. I mean, they're all on the same team. They don't give a shit about us. Rahm Emanuel, what a weasel.
Yeah.
How can you even look at the guy and take him seriously for a minute? I
No,
mean, he's
he
just
has-
he's just a piece of fucking shit. He's a piece of shit stuck in a cum volcano.
No, not in the cum volcano.
That gets blown out the top and you know, just lands in all of our
Asses.
eagerly awaiting asses.
All right.
Well-
So what's our next topic?
No.
What he's trying to say is that the amount of high-profile police brutality cases has caused fear in Chicago officers that prevent them from doing their job because they're afraid someone's going to document it and share it on the internet.
Yeah. So when
He's
they're
basically
when
making
they're
the case
bullying,
that
they
have too much pressure on them now.
Vinny,
Right.
Here's the thing: when they're bullying some poor fucking inner city kid, some poor inner city black kid,
or some poor fucking hick out in the country, it's everywhere.
well, no,
we don't
he's-
choose to separate this issue like
no,
that.
No,
though,
but the
because
fact
I
is,
mean,
we're talking about Rahm Emanuel, so he's talking about the city of Chicago. So there are no hick kids in the city of Chicago.
oh, there's some.
Not many. The vast majority of
Have you ever been to Logan Square? It's all kids from Iowa, Michigan, and Wisconsin who
Yeah,
dressed up
and-
in hipster
and
uniforms.
they're all wearing beards and they're all making six figures. So they're not the problem. They're not the ones we're talking about.
The
They're
black
not
people are the problem.
Well, no, they're not the ones that the city of Chicago Police Department is targeting. The city of Chicago Police Department is targeting the black kids.
Right, but they would look at it as we're operating more heavily in more high crime areas, you know. And I hate cops more than anyone on the planet. I'm just looking at the game for what it is. That's the game, you know. That's what they do. They can justify it with all that shit. They've got the numbers to back it up. Hey, we need more. If we don't have this amount of patrols, people will criticize us for not having enough presence in the neighborhood. And then if we do get proactive, they'll scrutinize every move we make. It's just a broken system. You can't be a good cop. It's not a possibility.
So,
you know, like
the state of Illinois is fucked.
Mhm.
And I heard today that the credit rating for the state of Illinois is 50 out of 50. We have the worst credit of any state in the United States.
Oh, 50th.
We're 50th.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
I was picturing a different credit score scale. Where,
Yeah.
where we have perfect credit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's
We
what
have-
I was thinking,
We have
too.
completely
How did we do
imperfect
that?
credit.
Right. So our state is horrible. Yeah, I know, but maybe keep the conversation going.
I'm going. Well, I want to, I want to keep it going. But honestly, the pension issue in this state, my ex-wife is a teacher. She's probably never going to get paid. She's not going to get Social Security because as a teacher for the last 10 years, she hasn't contributed anything to Social Security. She's only contributed to the state pension, which when she's eligible to receive it probably won't exist because the state will probably end up like the city of Detroit. I'm seriously thinking about leaving the state of Illinois because I think.
Oh, who isn't? I left already. It's you know what?
And how did that work out?
It's actually pretty fucking awesome. Like considering how my life would have gone if I tried to do the exact same thing in Illinois, I'd be in prison by now. You know. And
what are you trying to do?
Well, just live like a normal person.
Cum volcanoes
with some slack. Yeah, I'm trying to do a fucking cum volcano headstand in the park once in a while.
Yeah, that doesn't go over well in Illinois. It's much better in Louisiana.
In Louisiana, you can do that shit.
You can do that. You can get away with it.
But no, what I mean is if the reason I left this state is because I fell on very hard times, as everybody knows who listens to the show, and I fucking had nothing left to my name. I didn't have anywhere to go. And if I went and tried to get a place and a job around here, I seriously, I would have been homeless. In a short amount of time, I would have made it nowhere. But if I go down to Louisiana, things are extremely cheap, and it's a different kind of lifestyle, and I was able to work things out really quickly, with some help from Darcy, of course,
God bless you, Darcy.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's a much different world. I could not have done it in Illinois. The fucking social structure would have just basically priced me out of having any sort of fucking livable life.
Oh,
I would have been staying with Andrea or my dad or whoever, or if I had tried to do it all by myself, I'd have had to fucking go on welfare and food stamps and all this and that. But I went to Louisiana and I found a place where I could get dinner for $7 and find an apartment for fucking dirt cheap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a much different fucking social landscape. So yeah, I don't blame anybody for leaving this fucking shithole where you pay out the ass for taxes. And what is the most tangible result that you see of your tax? Where do you see your tax money going?
Potholes.
Most tangibly in
Road
your life?
construction.
No,
yeah.
you see it going to fucking more law enforcement to harass you. I don't know anybody.
Generate more revenue.
I don't know one
Actually,
fucking...
most of the income
goes to the defense, military defense.
Well,
Yes,
most of the state
Most of
income
yours-
and the local income goes to schools.
State.
Goes to schools.
Fine,
if you,
fine,
if
fine.
you look at the numbers,
I'm saying,
and
but
then the
what
second number is
hold on.
road repair.
Yeah, that's fine. But where do I see my tax dollars coming back into my life to affect me? Law enforcement.
Right.
I drive around on shitty streets all the fucking time. They're all fucked up. You drive past a fucking construction zone on the highway, 20 fucking dudes just chilling and 2 dudes jackhammering. Like, we all see that every fucking day. Where do I see my money coming back to affect me in my day-to-day life? Increased law enforcement. So great. Thanks, Illinois. I'll give you all my fucking money, and you just harass me worse. And then every time I mess something up, you somehow take 10 grand from me like that's supposed to be fucking... like that's supposed to make everything right. You know what I mean? That's all I see here in Illinois. I
You
don't
know
see,
what, Vinny?
Much benefit,
Amen.
The cost of living is through the fucking roof. You go to the grocery store 10 years ago, you could actually work just above minimum wage job and life wouldn't be that pleasant, but you could get some fucking groceries. You can't now. You can't.
No, you can't.
You can't do anything. I mean, this place is hell, dude.
It's in
horrible.
Illinois. It's a 90-hour week at minimum wage makes
Well,
you a livable wage.
And you know what? It's
A
not just
what?
it's
90-hour week at minimum wage
And that's how the average person could afford
is a
rent
living
and-
wage.
rent and
well, and
groceries
it's not just
Yes.
Illinois.
And that's, but also,
well, that is the number for Illinois.
so
90.
let's
well,
talk
no.
about.
What I'm saying is it's not just Illinois where that's the case. It's California, it's New York, it's a lot of states.
Right.
I'm sure that it is. I just haven't
It's
lived there.
The
Yeah.
biggest population centers: Boston, San Francisco, L.A., San Diego, Atlanta, New York, all of them.
Yeah.
If you live in Detroit, the employment opportunities are half of what they are, or in the Detroit area, they're half of what they are in Illinois.
Sure.
And the pay is even worse. Now, the cost of living is less, but if you can't find any work at all, then you're completely fucked because the Michigan government is even worse than the Illinois government. So, I mean, life is kind of fucked everywhere.
I ain't looking for a handout, mister.
No, I know you're not. I'm not either. I'm looking to fucking make it
I
work
just
want to
be left
on my
the
own.
fuck alone. That's
Thank
all I
you.
ask of my government. Leave me the fuck alone once in a while. Don't have to be in everything. You can't make it happen.
do you
off,
think this is going to happen?
Sales tax, import tax, fucking all these taxes you have. You can't make it happen. You got to take 18% of my money.
All right,
as
so
a
here's
poor motherfucker that's
here's
never
an
had
idea.
anything pleasant in his life. You know what I'm saying?
Here's an idea. Forget about income tax. Okay, everybody gets taxed. Everybody gets taxed 10% of their income. You make $1 million, you make $100, you make $1,000, whatever it is, you pay 10% of it to the government.
Okay.
And it gets split between the state and the feds. Whatever.
Probably still too much.
Well, 10% is not much. It's a lot less than what we pay.
What are they going to do with it?
All right, but then you pay a consumption
What are they
tax.
going to do with it?
20% of everything you buy goes to the fucking government. So it's a consumption tax.
Why would you want that?
I don't know. Does that not make sense?
Not to me, because I hate the government and I don't.
Well, there
I don't
has
believe
to
that
be,
it can.
There has to
that
be,
it can work.
There
So,
has to be taxes to support schools, to support fire departments.
What about the lottery? The lottery was created to support our school system in Illinois.
A farce, you know.
You know, but I also don't agree.
I never
that,
win when I buy lottery tickets, so it's a scam.
All right.
It's a scam.
I have numbers. You guys
What?
want some numbers about taxes?
Yeah.
An American taxpayer making $50,000 a year, on average, will pay $36 towards food stamps and $6 for other safety net programs per year.
No, that's
bullshit.
Nothing. What are you talking about?
The rest of their money.
Where did you get this stat?
Here, I'll tell you.
All right, what else
Well,
does
no,
it say?
let her read the
rest of the
stats.
money
I mean,
goes to
this
military.
is
and
the
defense.
source.
Like,
The source is the Tax Foundation and Citizens for Tax Justice.
I don't know who they are. So
there's some self-righteous wannabe hippie hairy fucking assholes from California. But go ahead.
$870 a year goes towards corporate subsidies. $1,600 is to offset corporate tax loopholes, and $1,231 is to offset losses from corporate overseas tax havens.
Yeah, see, this is somebody with an agenda who's trying to place their agenda in front of people. That whatever website you're reading is bullshit.
why?
Why?
Well, no, because you can tell by the language, the way you read it, because you're reading it off their website, that it obviously, this is somebody who has a serious fucking agenda. And do you understand what I mean
what's
by that?
the agenda?
Well, I don't. The agenda is the government is fucked and fuck the government, and I get that, and I
that almost
appreciate
seems like
that.
pro-government stats. Or no, wait, what did you say?
No. What she's
No, that
saying
most
is
of
that
your money
like,
is-
you're pissing away money for a bunch of fucking social programs that really don't mean anything to most American hardworking people.
No, that's not
right?
what-
No.
No,
She's saying that the
I'm
money
saying
that you
that-
spend on those social programs is negligible compared to the
the amount of your money that's going to cover tax loopholes for the mega rich.
But if you all right, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So if you just break it down by percentage and the amount of money that gets spent by percentage based on what you pay into the federal government, it works out to very, very little of your money goes to the programs that cause the most controversy. People want to fucking fight about.
All right, no. The most controversy. You're talking about the most controversial things between idiots,
Right, the most
Like,
driven controversies, the most forced controversies.
Anyone with half a brain knows it's military and defense and the ridiculous, geopolitical situations that we're in because the leaders and elite classes of all these countries are playing the populaces against each other. That's the
Right.
thing. That's why I'm so fucking anti-government. We wouldn't have 99% of the problems that government claims they're here to solve if we didn't have governments.
Yes.
We wouldn't be going to war. Nobody fucking gives a shit. Nobody wants to go to war for righteous reasons.
Well,
Dude, they're sold on it. They wouldn't do that by nature, though. You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. On the other hand, if there was no government, we wouldn't be a country.
Good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hitler's son would be reigning over
He'd be
America.
over here breaking up the banks and building us roads, is what he'd be doing, just
no,
like Hitler
he'd be
did.
over here raping fucking women and killing fucking Jews.
No.
He'd be killing Jews and raping young girls. Because that's what the fucking Nazis did.
No. No. Hitler, for instance, he led the way on animal rights laws. He was one of the first guys ever
in the
to
world
put in anti-animal cruelty laws. And you want to talk rape out of hand, Callahan? The Russians who marched in from the west and the U.S.'s who marched in from the east in the motherland, as I call it, back in WW2, they were responsible for tens of thousands of rapes, just left and right. Rapity, rape all over Germany by the occupying forces after World War II.
There is
the more you know.
There is
some
no
of them were
question.
pederases too, Mark.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well,
you know a little something about that.
You would know all about that, David Box.
Oh yeah.
I already said that joke, Mark.
Yeah.
About you.
Whatever.
But you know what I mean? There's no use in getting sanctimonious about rape in wartime. Every military does it. Yeah.
America does it.
Hey, you take a bunch of guys and pay them.
You don't think Assad is doing that right now?
Take a bunch of guys and pay them to kill.
There's a guy in Syria who's raping more women than anyone. You want to go to Syria, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
So it's a contest now, huh?
Vinny said.
Yeah, so why didn't you use him as an example instead of Hitler? Why you got to drag Hitler's name through the mud?
Because Hitler was an awful person, for God's sakes.
Oh,
he suffered enough.
Hitler's misunderstood.
Without Hitler, we wouldn't have the current American animal abuse laws that we have and the animal rights.
You see, Mark?
Our laws are
see?
based off of
What are you
Hitler's
talking
laws. They
about?
are.
I know they are. But listen to this.
All right.
There's not one shred of documented physical any kind of memo or document whatsoever that supports the accusation that Hitler knew about an extermination policy. Right, Andrea?
Yes. And we've covered this extensively.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like the show always comes back to
It
Hitler.
always does. It always comes back to Hitler and the fact that the Jews are making stuff up.
Yeah, they're controlling the narrative.
Those meddling Jews.
Out of hand just threw his headphones on the ground. I think he's out of here.
I'm going to go have a cigarette.
Why?
Well, I mean, come on.
Because you're afraid.
Because you don't want to talk about Hitler.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you guys kind of beat the same fucking subject into the ground sometimes, and it gets a little tiring.
You don't even listen to the show. How the fuck would you know?
I actually, over the last 4 months, I have listened to every fucking word you guys have ever spoken.
We've only done like 4 shows in the last 4 months.
Yeah, but I've listened to every word of those 4 shows. Actually, it's more than 4 shows.
And
that was an exaggeration.
And we're not saying that we like Hitler. It's just history is very misunderstood, and we're force-fed a very cartoonish, childish version of it.
All right,
this
so
country,
here's the thing. I'm 52. You're 31.
Right.
And you're 20...
20, yeah.
9?
Not even close. Nope.
24?
Let's keep playing this game. 27.
27. I thought I was close with 26. All right. So when I went to school, so you're 27, you're half my age. When I went to school 27 years before you did.
That math checks out.
No, actually it doesn't, because I would be 54. 26 would check out. Wow, you guys are worse at math than...
Holy fuck, get to the point. I got a caller waiting.
Well, no, the point is that when we grew up, we just saw this graphic fucking
dick
unbelievable...
on the projector.
Projector.
We were just watching
Yeah,
rape. Yeah.
You know, the projector running and just them like bulldozing thousands
dicks
of
into asses.
No, thousands of bodies into trenches and then throwing gasoline
let me
and
ask you
kerosene
something.
on them. And
Where did that footage come from? Who were those people? And how do you know?
And who was driving the bulldozer?
And who? Yeah.
Well, I do know.
And was there a typhoid outbreak at the end of the war that killed thousands of Germans, and many Germans died of starvation as well due to supply lines being cut off from east to west by Russia and the U.S. So the people you saw being bulldozed into trenches could have easily been any Germans, you know?
Do you not believe that millions of Jews were killed during...
I don't believe that as many as people say. No, I think they had work camps that a lot of fucking tons of people died.
No, I think
tons of people died.
The number of
but
5 to 6 million is a pretty accurate number.
Well, how would you possibly know that?
Yeah, and also
because people who
like
knew,
one of those
I mean,
people.
no,
Also,
they
you
know
say
what I mean?
they say that
that's like like you're trying to make him look like an asshole.
What do you mean?
Instead of like, you know,
although he's trying to make Hitler look like an asshole. I agree.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what the truth is.
No, I know, but the truth is
what
that
I know,
that
right,
Auschwitz.
You can talk over me, and that'll help you make your point. But go ahead.
We're just having a little back and forth there.
No.
Don't try don't try a little parlor tricks here.
Listen,
what the fuck are you
fuckface.
doing?
Listen, fuckface.
No, you
what
listen,
I know about you.
Come volcano keg stand face.
That's worse than fuckface.
Yeah, shut you
Whatever.
down. No.
I'm
what
just done.
What I'm
Fuck
saying.
you.
What I'm saying is, I know that the words, the figure of 6 million Jews was being thrown around for 15 years before the supposed Holocaust, which it wasn't even called at the time. It was changed later in the 60s by Jewish lobbies because they wanted it to be associated with a word that actually means sacrificing a child by fire, which was an ancient Hebrew tradition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more to this, dude. You believe one thing, but if you look into it a little deeper, you'll find a lot of credible stuff on the Holocaust revision side. You know,
And even-
Auschwitz, it's their own like historical society has revised their number, which at first was like 4 million, and then down to 2.5, and then down to like 1.7 that were killed there. And there's a lot of evidence to the
so
contrary.
it was only 1.7 million people that were
That's
put
what
into a
no,
fucking
hold on.
kill. Can I say one fucking thing
I was
without
telling
you
her.
interrupting?
I was telling her to hold on.
Jesus.
No, I was
sat
telling
back
her
and
to
let you
hold
talk.
on.
All right, so here's
Don't
the thing.
try to get on your fucking dude. Shut up. Say what you want to fucking say then. Jesus.
All right, 1.7 million, whatever the number was, it happened.
And the original point of this argument was I said I don't think as many people were killed as they say. So that is the whole point. So I'm saying, yeah. So for you to go, oh, if it was only 1 point, yeah, that's the whole point. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I'm saying it's less.
Does it matter if it's
Yes, it does. Because if someone is attempting to, yes, it does. Because if someone is attempting,
why does it make a
numerology? It has to do with the occult, Mark. It has to do with the elite that run every government in the fucking world. See, you're coming into this conversation at a slight disadvantage, is that you don't know the narrative that leads up to the reason we talk this way.
And I don't
here, come a little closer, please.
I'm sorry. I don't necessarily. I listen to I've been listening for the last few months. I have been listening very intently.
Can I explain to you one thing real quick about the point of the numbers? Is I think that there's some value of drumming in this 6 million number that's effective on the human psyche that a different number may not be. And they were using the 6 million Jews figure for 15 years in media before the Holocaust happened, and saying, you know, if this policy doesn't change and that policy doesn't change, 6 million Jews may be at risk. 6 million. It was all, you know what I'm talking about, Andrea.
Yes, yeah.
We've all seen it. And so I'm very suspicious of it. The numbers have always been revised and revised again. There's a lot of challengers to the main narrative that have come up with really compelling evidence that there were not these Cyclone B extermination chambers, and that people were actually dying of disease and overworking in these work camps, which is, yes, an undeniably horrible thing. And yes, many, many people died. Not all Jews. In fact, that's another thing, is I think there might be a Zionist Jewish conspiracy to hijack the genocide for themselves.
No, it was
for the purposes of social structure and having that weight of guilt, you know, to play on.
Because
people.
it wasn't all Jewish people, but that's what everybody
That's all you know about. That's all you remember. Hold on, you know what?
Can I
Mark,
just say the one thing that
you go, and then we'll give it to Mark, and then we've got Tom on the phone again. So Tom, you're on with us now. Andrea's gonna go. Go ahead.
All I want to point out is that if you're willing to accept that part of the narrative has been misrepresented and falsified, then you need to keep an open mind with other parts that may have been misrepresented and falsified.
So let me ask you one question.
And if it has been, we need to know.
Do I get to?
Yes, you do.
Do I get to say anything?
Oh, dude,
shut the fuck up for 1 second.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I want to ask her a question.
Okay.
Because you won't shut the fuck up.
You let me talk for 3 seconds while I just say.
All right, talk.
Oh, look what a baby. He's leaving.
I'm gonna go have a fucking cigarette.
What a baby. Well, then don't come back. No, don't come back. Don't talk off mic. This is a radio show. Don't talk off mic. If you leave, don't come back. Fucking faggot. Jesus, he just walks off like a girl.
Girls.
I'm just trying to help him. I'm trying to help him understand.
Fuck you.
All right, then sit back down. Stop trying. People who have weak.
Get a beer.
People who have weak positions in debates. He wanted to get a beer now. People who have weak positions in debates always do this.
No, I have a fucking opinion, but you won't let me say anything.
No,
because you haven't shut up for the last 5 minutes.
If
other
you didn't
than to
have
let
such a
her
habit,
speak,
if you didn't
I just
have
wanted
such a
to
habit,
say one thing.
Okay, and I was just briefly trying to add and help you understand because.
But pontificate all you want.
We're on. Nice vocabulary. We're on different planes when we're discussing this, so I'm attempting to bridge that gap for you. And if you'd wait 3 seconds, because I'm not trying to take the floor, I was trying to add a little fucking point, you know what I mean, to what was going on. That's all. Tom, what's up?
What's going on, guys? This is all right. Now it's getting heated.
Yeah, what do you think?
No, I was calling in because I heard somebody talking ill of Hitler's illegitimate son, Jean-Marie Lorette. And I don't take kindly to that type of shit. What the fuck did he ever do?
Was he French?
Wait.
He was fighting against the Nazis, for God's sakes.
Did he had an illegitimate son?
Is that true?
He had to have had several of them.
Yeah, he had one with like some French chick, and then I think he went on to fight Nazi forces or some shit. I don't know.
Okay, so the thing I was just going to say before I get, and I'm going to give you the floor. All I was going to say is the importance of this whole discussion is you can go ahead and say, well, what does it matter, 2 million to 6 million? And I agree with that on one level, but on another level, if the history has been hijacked, and we've been coerced to believe something for whatever, we need to find out who did it and for what purpose.
Wait, who hijacked?
Who altered history? If it isn't true, what we learn in conventional history and in textbooks and stuff, then we need to know, and we need to know who altered history and why.
And why they're telling us it's truth.
At 52 years of age, I dated several women when I was in college in Kalamazoo.
They were in the Holocaust.
No, whose parents fled Europe.
They were survivors?
No, they fled Europe because of what was going on. And the woman I almost married, many years before I got married, her parents they came over from Latvia, and they were chased out. They had money and houses and mansions and horses and all this shit, and they came over with the fucking clothes on their back.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard their parents tell me these, not her, but there were 2 women that I dated that dealt with the same thing. And I heard the stories about how they were, their whole families were annihilated and they fled.
Right.
And left behind great fortunes and literally came over to America and did okay. And were very middle. They were upper class that became very middle class, but they were very happy with that in the United States. And her father would tell me these very vivid stories about when the Nazis came and they burned the whole fucking village down. They raped all the women that were attractive. They killed all the women that weren't attractive. Seriously, no.
Okay, but to that point,
and this, this old guy. This guy was born in the 1890s.
Andrea,
he watched all this happen.
Let
anyway,
him speak.
All right, fine.
I'm just
done
fucking with
speaking.
you. I'm just fucking with you. Come on.
I'm done.
I'm fucking with you. God, it's fucking. It's
no. But the point is that I met people. I experienced. The bottom line.
My uncle was actually born in Treblinka, in Poland.
Okay.
Concentration camp.
Was
My
he?
uncle had him.
Really?
Yeah. He's got the number tattoo.
Okay, so but that doesn't. So we're not saying.
Got all the cool reminders.
We're not saying that this didn't happen.
Exactly. It did happen.
We're saying that the
I know what
numbers
you're
have been
saying
fudged.
is it didn't happen the way we're told that it happened. Something happened. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
You can't manufacture something on that scale completely, but you can definitely alter facts. I mean, history is fucking written by the winners. That's how it goes. I mean, that's just everything. I mean, if you American Indians or Native Americans or whatever the fuck you want to say,
Yeah.
It's you're not even taught that 25 years ago. In
The
school.
100
It's glazed over a little bit.
Right.
And they were, the Pilgrims, and then, that's it. You don't learn what really fucking happened. I mean, all of this shit. History is just, what we're taught. Come on. It's not real.
It's written by the winners.
Believes that's real.
You're absolutely right, Vinny. It is written by the winners. And the one thing that hasn't been written is about Stalin's conquest. And
we talk about it all the time. Yeah.
He killed
way more people than Hitler.
3 to 4 times as many.
Well,
like
they were
10
all
times.
But
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, I mean, the
And
numbers,
no one ever talks
The numbers
about it.
range from 40 to 60 million Slavs. that
Oh
he
no,
killed.
I buy into a 20 million number.
So don't you think
All
it's
right.
suspect that...
I'm going to go
You've
26.5.
obviously done your own studies.
Oh, I've done my own research. I have. I've looked into this. This interests me.
Okay.
But wouldn't you agree that then it's kind of suspect that Hitler has been drilled into Americans' brains as such a villain when there was somebody who was measurably worse for the world than he was?
Yes.
Well, Hitler is the perfect villain.
Right.
Well, why not?
hold on,
Why
hold on.
not Stalin?
Andrea.
Why isn't Stalin the perfect villain?
Yeah,
Because
because
Stalin-
Stalin represented communism way more than Hitler too.
Well,
So-
here's the reason. You want an answer? The reason
I do.
is that Hitler, he had the mustache, he had the fucking
evil
speeches. No. And he had all the fucking film. He had all the propaganda film. Stalin just
I agree.
killed,
He was very charismatic.
Stalin.
Now what else?
Stalin just killed people quietly. He didn't do it publicly. They
So
were sent
that
to the
made it
Ukraine.
less
They were
bad?
sent to the fucking
do 60 million, 20 million.
whatever the number
Yeah,
is,
what's the
Tom.
difference?
I mean, honestly, whatever the number is, I don't want to debate the number because nobody.
The number doesn't actually matter. I mean,
The
it's
number-
in the fucking
the number
giant
is-
millions.
Yeah, it's just anything over one.
15 people is bad enough. Yeah.
Anything over one is bad.
Right.
Right? You kill one, you're a fucking murderer.
You're kind of a
you
dick.
kill two,
Wait, what?
you're a fucking
If
serial
I kill
killer.
one person, I'm a fucking murderer?
That's
Yeah,
not.
I know.
Let's not generalize too much
Yeah.
like that.
Don't get carried away with that knife, Eugene.
I mean, that's like saying you make one racist comment and you're a racist forever. It doesn't work like that. We all know. Life is a.
Sometimes
Vinny.
it
All
right.
slips.
Yeah,
Vinny,
your life path-
Vinny,
your life path
Vinny.
zigzags,
You suck
you
one
know.
cock, you're a cocksucker for life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Old
That's
standby
science.
joke. I love it.
Yeah. But the whole point is, like Andrea said, why would Hitler be? He is synonymous with evil in almost every American's vernacular. You need a reference for evil, you go Hitler, right?
Yeah.
It's so drummed into our psyche when there have been, we ran off the list of 8, 9, 10 fucking dictators that
Pol Pot?
that dwarfed, Pol Pot, Mao, all these names that everybody knows.
Stalin.
But they don't know them like they know Hitler.
But you don't know them like you know Hitler. You grow up
Well, I
and you
do.
do your own. But
Wait.
no, but because you grew up and did your own research, same as all of us. We didn't learn this shit in school.
No,
Did you
absolutely
ever
not.
hear
No, I
Mao
learned this
Zedong's name in school?
No.
Did you ever hear Pol Pot's name in school?
Absolutely
did.
not.
Did you even hear the country Cambodia?
They don't
no,
teach
no,
that
you
stuff
didn't.
anymore.
in college.
Oh,
not,
okay.
not,
Well,
not high, not
we didn't
high
go to
school.
high
go to-
school.
we didn't
I mean,
go to
we
college.
Oh, I didn't go to high school.
Sorry, no, not in high school. I didn't learn any of that in high school.
No,
But
so
when I
why
got
are
to
they
college,
omitted?
They might have been
they-
trying to teach us that in high school.
I mean,
now that I
it-
think of it, but I just wouldn't fucking go there. It's like,
I never heard that stuff.
I don't fucking know what they were trying to do.
I was at high
actually.
school sometimes.
I took a lot of history classes in college.
I took a
and-
lot of acid in school. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. Actually, I did too. Some mushrooms and
It was fun.
ecstasy.
It made everything a lot more interesting.
Hold
and
on.
a lot more
All right, so
cartoonish.
let's change the subject. In
And
1980,
I was able to be like, "What the fuck
No,
are you
no.
talking about? Are you kidding me?"
Hold on.
I gotta go home.
I want to get Tom's before we go somewhere else. I want to see Tom. You've looked into like Holocaust revision in the past, and me and you have actually shared a few videos back and forth, I think, and stuff like that. Don't you find it really weird the Jewish angle over the whole story that and then they use the word Holocaust, which came out 20 years
of course.
later. It's like it's definitely.
I find there's nothing in the American history textbooks that I don't find kind of peculiar.
Yeah.
It's a huge agenda that's been going on for a long time. I mean, I will answer why Hitler was singled out is because that was where our enemy lay. I mean, he wasn't doing what we want. It's always the same thing. It's the same thing on a small scale, and every Middle Eastern, if they don't play ball with us, then it's a big deal. Until they don't, they can do whatever the fuck they want. We don't give a shit who they're killing.
No, you can kill as many
Kurdish
people
are fucking being murdered by Saddam. We don't give a fuck.
Right.
But we give a fuck when they stop going, hey, stop taking our oil at this, blah, blah, blah. Then it's like, what the fuck? Hey, he's killing Kurds. Let's get him. It's like, shut the fuck up, man.
Right.
Come on.
You don't
it's always
actually
about
care.
our interests. That's all it's about.
That's exactly
if Stalin
right.
didn't do anything to us, then we don't give a fuck. I mean,
By the way, hold on. We teamed up with Stalin to take Hitler out.
Yeah, exactly.
We teamed up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We teamed
He
up
was
with
on
a
our
way
team.
worse guy
He killed
than Hitler.
fucking so many more motherfucking people.
Right.
It's just silly to even think that there's some kind of, truth to anything that we are told as a fucking society in these indoctrination station fucking schools that we have.
Right.
Come in here and learn to regurgitate facts, and then we'll put you to the next one. Shut the fuck up, man. Nobody thinks about shit. You're not taught to think. You're taught to fucking listen and follow directions, and that's what it's all about.
Repeat.
It's just being compliant and learning their little fucking scenarios that they've concocted to, further this agenda or get this mindset and put this structure in place. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's what everything is about, is maintaining control and shaping our reality, our perceived reality, to what they need it to be in order to further their agenda on another phase. I mean, that's all it is.
Well, and that's
the
the
funny thing is I watch it kind of imploding now because there's just too much out there. You ever have one of those friends that just lies too much to where they just start collapsing on each other and all their shit starts coming back at them? I see that starting to happen now. There's too much shit out there, and there's too many people looking now, and it's just like they're getting a little frenzied with their shit now.
And now
It's
we have
funny.
the power of the internet for the first time.
Bam.
Well, and that's the game changer, right?
Right.
But that point
Oh,
is
yeah.
that
Huge,
point is that your point is perfect for Hitler because not only was he kind of a really I mean, it's hard to swallow for a lot of Americans, but Hitler was well loved by the German population.
Very much.
Not anymore.
No,
was.
not anymore. But at the time, they were not forced into submission like it's North Korea.
So
they supported him. They
I've got
supported
an
him.
interesting
But-
take on Hitler.
Well, the only thing I was going to add was that he was opposed to centralized banking, and he wanted a German bank printing German currency.
Ding, 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 ding.
That they, exactly. That they
Somebody
could
give them a prize. I'm not there.
that they could regulate on their
Preferably
own,
penis, because that's what I would have given them.
and they wanted to detach from what he called Zionist banking controllers, and
Yes,
that
there
was
you go.
that was where it started. The
Rothschilds.
Right, and he started an anti-Jewish sentiment in the country, which came from because of the banking oppressors, but it spread socially and got way the fuck out of control. Obviously, yes, Jewish people were targeted unfairly, and many people
totally, no doubt.
many people who were peons. They had nothing to do with banking cartels, but he associated it as a cultural, epidemic, and that's how that happened. But we're not taught that. We're taught that he had a commissioner of racial superiority who was in charge of cleansing, and that was the whole story. And we just cleansed this race because we're crazy. That's not what happened.
I know. It's funny. Oh wait, sorry, that dude. What was his name? Mark. You were going to say something. I don't want to keep fucking cutting people off here.
Go ahead, Mark.
I met this woman, a very interesting woman.
I love it already. Sorry.
She lived in Germany for 17 years. Her and I become friends. I'd like to date her, but she's not ready to date. We'll see where that
hold
goes.
Hold on.
Well, no. But the point is,
this is urgent. I think David Box fell asleep at his mic. Hold on.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, I thought
I faded fast though.
I thought I was hearing you breathing. I just turned your mic way up so I could hear you snoring. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Mark. You met this woman.
So she lived in Germany for 17 years. She dated 3 different German men. She, over that 17-year period, she ended up marrying one German guy. She's 5'6", he's 6'6", and from day one he was cheating on her. And as I've gotten to know her, she explained to me what she she spent most of her adult life being in love with and sleeping with German men. And and these German men have not treated her so well. So one of the things that she said is that, and she's fluent, she speaks German fluently. I mean, like, absolutely, because she spent 17 years there and absolutely learned the language inside and out. Well, no, but what she said is that German men are fucking...
Please, in German, sir.
Well, I can't say it in German, but she said modern German men are complete fucking pussies. They are completely emasculated because of what happened in World War II.
Yeah, I believe it.
Most of their dads or most of their grandfathers
were gay.
Today. No, most of their grandfathers are dead. They died in the fucking war.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah.
You know.
So their fathers grew up without
and
a man.
a lot. They all grew up. They all have mommy issues. She's like, every one of them has mommy issues. And I kind of did a little reading on
that
this
doesn't
online.
make you less than a man. I mean,
and she's like,
because a guy.
She's been in love, you know. I mean, the stories I've heard. Wow, German men. You want to stay away from German men.
I do anyways. I don't like men really. So.
We had
I get your point.
It's a matter. It's a matter of choice, Tom.
These guys that came to my high school were from Germany, were exchange students. I used to ask them, what is like the feeling about, because we would smoke weed, you know, they would come over, they got to be friends with all the stoners.
German exchange students?
Yeah. And so they would come over and smoke weed and everything, and we'd get to talking eventually, and it would always get to, so what is it like to
be a Nazi?
Like at the place where the Holocaust was? And they were, you could tell the deep shame that they carried with them. And these guys are my age. They were born in 1984. And they carried a deep cultural shame that just seemed crippling.
And they're actually like a lot of them are third generation, not second generation.
They were the grandchildren of the World War IIs.
Of the fucking Holocaust.
Yeah.
Participants.
Definitely.
I mean, this is a long time ago now. This is not like...
I know. Why don't we just let it go?
Yeah, it's time.
Well, you know,
Germany, come back.
The interesting,
come on, give me a hug.
The interesting thing I find is that the fourth most powerful economy in the world is Germany. You've got U.S., China, England, Germany.
Andrea, is that right?
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Check that.
Yeah. I'm just picturing her eyes rolling in the back of her head. Yes, it's right.
Well, no, it's actually I. It's a singular because she's got the eye patch on.
Oh,
yeah, we need to put this up online.
Just ticking back like an old gas pump, just
with her 7-color hairstyle. Yeah. I'm loving Andrea right now. I mean, she's never looked better.
Yeah, you'll never forget this.
Watch it, Mark.
David Box just woke up.
Hey,
someone talking about my woman.
Yeah, somebody's encroaching on your woman.
David, I'm like an uncle.
All right.
Huh?
Like a sexy uncle.
Creepy uncles.
No.
Things are getting weird.
No, not sexy or creepy. I'm just an uncle.
You're sexy.
I'm just
and
a good
creepy.
uncle.
Germany is number 4. However, you were wrong about number 3. It's not England, it's Japan.
Damn.
Oh, so England's number 5?
U.S., China... Japan is number 3. Germany is number 4. France is number 5.
Wait,
UK is 6.
And Germany, the two that we fucked up
where
so bad.
Where are you getting your data from? There is no way that...
Investopedia.com.
Yeah, Investopedia is a French company.
Well, they are obviously less credible than you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Where's your website?
If he has one, he's got an agenda.
Wow, you stumped me on that one.
Asshole that doesn't know what he's talking about.com.
Yeah, also, this article was written by a man named Prablin Bajpai.
Yeah, are you going to believe
Was it
him
really?
or me?
Yeah.
Wait, holy shit. Hold on a second,
believe
Andrea.
this, Tom?
I think we might be able to get Prablin Bajpai on the
Can we get him on the phone?
Can we try?
I think I have his number, actually, from an old episode we did.
David?
Prablin.
What? Who is this? Hello?
Prablin, are you there? Hello, this is Prablin's wife. I am Mrs. Bajpai.
Yes, hello, give me the phone, you stupid bitch. Give me, what the fuck?
David Box totally fell asleep on that cue. Now you have to be the guy since you set this up.
I'll pick it up. Hello, very good. Very fine.
Oh, here is my
community
loving
friend.
husband, Prablin Bajpai, leading
My
world
numbers are
economist.
very accurate, my friend.
Is this so? You made this website from India? How did you do your research?
I do it on the Google. How do you do any research these days? It's Google.
That's true, I guess. And so you put this together for what purpose?
To trick people. Of course. To trick people into
is a
my way of
very good
thinking
way
of
to make
this-
money.
that France is number 5.
We
I
are
know.
moving to France. We would like there to be more money there, so we may make contracts.
And what's your name, ma'am?
I am Mrs. Bajpai.
This is my wife.
What's your first name?
Dapdi Kuka.
All right.
That's Sanjay. She's a card.
All right.
Two handfuls. All right.
Oh, what a bunch of pricks we are.
Wow. That was fun.
Well, you know, I'm bored. It's Thursday.
Drunk as shit. Hey, you know, Tom, you should come in and do the show with us sometime.
Yes.
You're right down the street.
You're in Louisiana.
I am most of the time, and I had to come up here for bitch-ass court. So,
Oh, yeah, I got that.
How'd that
Thursday.
work out?
I had bitch-ass court today. I was supposed to go to trial today for my DUI, and
Yeah.
I got there like 3 minutes late, and my lawyer was already waiting outside and said, I got us a continuance because I don't feel good. I have to go. And I drove 900 miles for this court
Oh,
date.
Jesus Christ.
Was he?
And he will drive 900 more.
Yeah.
What was your lawyer hungover?
I don't know, dude. He is a
Lawyer.
scumbag. That's
He was
why I got.
co-hungover.
He's a
How
great
much did you pay him?
2,500. He's
Really?
yeah. He's a great lawyer. He's
Yeah,
That's a lot
Standard.
of money.
yeah. No, he's a great lawyer. I know already because, you know, I was doing ridiculous things when I got my DUI. I didn't get my. I can't
what?
tell the story yet because my case isn't over, and I know.
Oh yeah, you should probably wait until your case is
I know
over
nobody
before you
listens to this
share
show,
anything.
but
Well,
it's,
no, but
yeah,
it's
it's like-
being recorded.
Don't fuck around.
The
Yeah, just-
government is recording the show.
because do you want to? I will tell the story, but it involves other things that I could be charged for still.
Yeah,
So,
no, you don't wanna do that.
I don't want to fuck around. But I was doing some. Let's just say I was doing some insane shit, and and this guy
Get
already.
ICP makeup on.
Right, I had
Yeah.
ICP makeup on and a "Don't tread on me" flag.
Just wrapped around his naked
driving
body.
down the street. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so
Flashing people.
the
China.
guy that I hired got me my license back immediately because I refused to blow at the station, you know, and so you get your shit suspended. And I went to court a month later, and he filed some fucking special shit and goes, you know what, the cop isn't here on time. This is a due process violation. We're ready to roll. I need this suspension thrown out. And the judge is like, yeah, good enough. All right, suspension is lifted.
Yeah,
and they gave me
some
my license back.
Weird legal loophole.
Yeah, so I didn't blow, and I got my license back. So therefore, the state has extremely little evidence against me, and I have a really good chance of getting off.
So you should beat this.
I might. Yeah, I think it's about 50-50.
See, on December 11th, I'm going to court.
I'm going December 2nd for my DUI.
Yeah, and I'm not going to beat mine. I'm going to get convicted.
Yeah, I'm about 50-50 on mine.
Oh, I'm 100%.
You're done for. Yeah.
I like your attitude, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
It's like I'm defeated.
No, I'm good. You know what?
Won't be seeing old Mark around here anymore.
I bought into the bet. Yeah. Well, no, I'll be around.
You won't have old Mark to kick around on your
I'm just not going to be
anti-Jew show.
Yeah.
You guys can hate Jews on your own. I'm going to
Well.
ride my unicycle.
I'm going to need to ride my unicycle because I'm going to have to give up my car because
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my license for 2 months.
2 months. You could still keep your car. That's all
Yeah,
good. 2
no,
months is.
I'm going to burn. I think I'm going to burn my car. I'm going to burn
Shit.
my car.
For 2 months, you could push your car around. It'll be worth it on the downhill stretches.
Yeah.
No,
Be in the
I'm
best shape of
actually.
your life.
I'm thinking about burning it for the insurance money.
Don't.
Well, you
Oh,
can do that.
shit, I just said that on the
you
radio.
Find a German man who's so effeminate, you just push him around and have him drive you all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's not my
Problem
thing.
solved.
No, that's not my thing.
Not into German guys?
Yeah, no, not at all.
All right, fine. It's just an idea.
Hey, well, thank you for the thought. I mean, it was a good
okay,
thought,
well,
but just not
I'm
my
into solutions.
Not my thing.
Tom is always pretty constructive when he calls the show in. Or calls into the show. Fuck, we're drunk.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have a shot of whatever it is you're drinking?
All right. There you go.
LSD.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fucking,
can I have a shot of your LSD?
No, it's actually Jim Beam.
I've drank.
Here's our
Dude,
our
I've
commercial.
drank,
Wait, I'd like to do a commercial interruption.
Hold on, I've drank half a fifth of LSD on the show so far.
Yeah.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah.
You didn't share any?
I've had like 65,000 hits of LSD tonight.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
been
you, you have
fucking
not.
weird.
That's it.
What he has had is a half a bottle of Jim Beam. And
I have.
Odahan Callahan would like to tell you that Jim Beam is the official sponsor of the... What are we? The Overdrive Talk Show?
Keep going.
What are we calling this?
Yeah. Make up more names.
What was that? The Overdrove Talk Drive?
The Overgrove Top Knot.
Well, no, what are we calling the show?
The
The
Overgrove.
overgrown top knot.
Yeah.
The Overgrown Top. All right, it's the Overgrown Top Knot. And here we go. Jim Beam, your official sponsor of the Overdrive Talk Show.
Still got it. You still got it. You nailed it.
Hey, wait a second. He got that name wrong.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
The Overdose Talk Show.
All right. Well, I think.
Did I get it? Overdose?
Yeah, the Overdose Talk Show. Jesus.
I'm
Christ.
sorry. The
Thanks for
alcohol
coming
is
on our
kicking in.
show,
Yeah,
Mark.
thanks for being here.
Well, come on.
Yeah, well,
I'm comedic relief.
Jerk.
You got closer than I would have.
Exactly.
Tom, you got to come in next time I'm in town. All right.
Yeah, no shit.
Thanks for killing the last leg of the show here with us. But I think we should cut our losses before this goes totally sour.
Might be
All right, you guys have fun. One last thing, though. I don't want to bring up a whole new kitten caboodle thing. But does anyone, you guys, I'm sure,
Is that
have
like a
seen that, like
carrier
the
for your
only
kitten, the kitten
non-centralized
caboodle?
bank countries that were alive and well in
Wait, I'm not
2000,
on.
right? Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Libya, Cuba, North Korea, Iran.
All right, start
Which
over. We
ones
were
have
making
we
jokes
fucked
about
up
kittens.
so far since then?
Hold on.
Iraq, Libya. Where are we going now? Iran.
Tom, start over.
Afghanistan's fucked. Come on.
Hold on, Tom.
It's a big agenda. What's
Tom,
up?
start over because
What are we doing, naming countries?
We were making
Germany.
jokes about kittens and you couldn't hear us, and start that whole thing
Oh.
over. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. No, I was just saying, like what we were talking about earlier, why Hitler was the bad, the non-centralized bank idea. There was, I'm sure you guys must have seen the list. Like there was a list going around of the only countries that did not have centralized banks in 2000 were Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Libya, Cuba, North Korea, and Iran. And if you look since then, which countries we've invaded and totally fucked up, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, where are we going now? Iran. That's 4 of them. The
And
only
we
other
started,
ones, Cuba, North Korea, and Libya. And,
Dude, I'm
Sudan.
down. I understand this.
That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
I know. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
That's what's going on. So,
All right.
all right.
Yes.
On that note,
Can't say it often enough. No, it is because look, the Gaddafi thing. Fuck, we started a whole new thing. But just
I know that's the thing. I didn't want to start this.
the Gaddafi thing.
Then why
was,
did you?
It was so ridiculous.
You did.
Dude.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that guy was another well-beloved leader by his countrymen because he wanted to lead them away from the oppressing forces of outside economical controllers, and he wanted to make their own currency and have them regulate it themselves and actually empower his workforce. And he was fucking, look at crowds meeting Gaddafi or Gaddafi or Q or G or however you fucking see it.
It was spelled like 17 different
Yeah,
ways.
they don't fucking
'cause
ever
it
make their
didn't
mind up on it.
translate well.
But if you look at crowds meeting him versus crowds meeting Hitler, it's the same shit. And then look up a crowd meeting Kim
he was
Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il.
Yeah,
it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
It's over-the-top theatrical. These people were real. They loved these guys. They
well,
loved
no,
Gaddafi.
Kim Jong-young, they didn't love him. They were they did that out of
Kim
fear of...
Jong-young isn't one of them.
Well,
the young. Are you saying the young one?
No, the North Korean guy. When they lined up in front of him, they were afraid for their life.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's fear.
Yeah, it was total fear that was driving their smiles. And, there's nothing better than a fear smile.
That's all I wear, sir.
When I want to put a poster...
Is that what the girls under the mixing board used to tell you?
That's what
No. Well, yeah.
No, that's... Sometimes I hate
Good
that
comeback.
when I'm getting a fucking blowjob, I really hate having to explain the girl, like... Could you smile like you're afraid? Like, I know you look like you're having a good time, but I need you to be afraid.
The fear smile.
Right, I like the fear smile.
It's the only thing.
The fear smile.
You want people to come on your show and expose themselves.
I know.
Then
then we
throw
get
'em
mad
under
that you have a small.
Then you throw them under the soundboard.
All right, let's get out of here. Tom, thank you very much.
All right, you guys have fun, man.
All right.
Let me know when you're coming back up.
I'll be here for a few days. We'll hang out.
All right, cool.
All
right, folks.
Bye.
I'll talk to you.
Later. Mark, thanks very much for sitting in with us. Thanks to Lenny earlier, David Box, and all of the local artists from Chicago and underground artists from around the country that we play on the show for helping us through the breaks. We'll be back Sunday. Till then, have yourself a very Jewy Christmas. Good night.